The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Japanese Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. This program starts right now. Dominado! That's right. Today is a big day in our show's history. We will be airing an interview that we recorded literally about 30 minutes ago with Shota Imanaga, the pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, who does not speak a lot of English. So we also had his translator, Edwin Stanberry, alongside of us. And I'm going to say this one might go up for a daytime Emmy.
Yeah.
This one might go up
You're
for
welcome.
a daytime. I'm not sure how many times in the history of daytime ESPN television there has been a talk show where two different languages, one of which is vastly different, is coming from one end of the interview, and then obviously stupid Americans coming from the other side. But I was pumped with the way it turned out. We'll be joining, that'll be 1 hour from now. We'll be airing that. In this particular hour, we'll be airing a conversation we had with Patrick Mahomes yesterday after hours, where he is launching Throne Sport Coffee. He's a main investor, but then obviously we got into all the football and the life and what people are saying about him. We also have Scott McLaughlin, New Zealand boy, a Kiwi, I do believe, is what they call him, who is the pole sitter for the Indy 500 here in about 5-10 minutes or so. Wendy will be joining us in the second hour because tonight the Pacers go into Boston for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals as 8.5 to 9-point dogs, depending upon which 10-minute span you look at the sports book. We'll talk to Wendy a little bit about that, and also what happened last night in the Western Conference Finals as the Dallas Mavericks get a massive win over the Minnesota Timberwolves, with the first quarter and the first half being a Kyrie Irving show, and then the second half to end this thing, Luka Doncic takes it home. Not only on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball. Had a steal where he actually jumped and swatted Rudy Gobert. Didn't know Luka could jump.
No.
Had no idea that could happen. And he took over here at the end. As you see, 102-98, Minnesota over Dallas. Luka says, oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? How about this? Anthony Edwards, who called out Kyrie, and Kyrie said he used that as motivation, came out and scored 12 points in the first half. At the end there, here's a steal from Luka. What's he going to do with it? Well, he's going to move in slow motion while still making people happen. Ball, tray ball, boom! All of a sudden, Dallas has the lead now, 104-102. Luka hits a three. Then he has a steal. Then he has a hockey assist. And then what's going on? They have the lead in the fourth. What happens next? Luka can't be doing anything else. Yeah, right. Pump fake towards Conley. Jump swat out of Gobert's hands. Well, is he done? Is that all? Just do a little bit of a SWAT skate? He's going to run the court. He's going to celebrate a little bit. He's going to end up getting the ball. A little shimmy, a little shake, take to the rack, step back, clean. 106-102, that's all she wrote. Western Conference Finals, Game 1, Dallas Mavericks with a 1-0 lead now in that particular series. And we assume Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert and the boys and Karl Anthony Towns will definitely answer. And Big Perk said that he thinks that game's going to 7, just like the Eastern Conference between the Celtics and the Pacers is going to end up going to 7. And in the NHL last night, Eastern Conference Finals got started. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going on in New York.
Man. Oh, boy.
We talked to Kachuk, obviously, friend of the program, and he's a physical lad, an American lad.
Dog.
He's also an absolute dog. Scores early, has a massive shot, and the New York Rangers actually healthy scratched the story of their year, Rempe, who hasn't been on the ice in a matter of weeks, and they're a physical team, that Florida Panthers team. You'd think you'd want Rempe on. They don't. Seems to be going the wrong way. Florida Panthers up 1-0. Now, today's a massive day because of all the interviews, but also because we're talking to a great group of men here. The Talks Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, sweet shirt.
Hey, thank you very much. Not very often is my shirt, being considered sweet because his is pretty good. But you know what? I pulled this out. I said, burnt orange? You kidding me? Why not?
Yeah,
why not?
It's May in Indy, too. We got the Indy 500 pole sitter that's about to join us. Ty, I know you're jacked up.
Yeah, I mean, I was skittish all morning, obviously, because I knew he was coming in. And I've kind of come back around on it. You mentioned there's just nothing quite like May in Indianapolis. There's just not, know. And then people say, I'm bummed, though, that looks like we're going to get a lot of rain on Sunday.
No, don't say that. We got the Indy 500. We got the pole sitter in the building right now. And you're going to be talking about the Doppler on Sunday. Easy come, easy go in Indiana.
Yeah.
Could have snow on Sunday. It could be clear skies. Could be rainy. Could be tornadoes you're talking.
Yeah, could be.
That's a lot of people in one area, very flat.
It is.
That's not good. I don't like what the Doppler's doing. I wonder how the Indianapolis Motor Speedway folks will end up handling all that. Will they have to move it a day if there is? We're not going to put that in the universe.
No, of course
You just started doing that, though.
Well, hey, listen, who would I? I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, but I certainly do look at the Doppler because I know everyone loves the Indy 500. I don't want to ruin their weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend.
This is what every other house in Indianapolis looks like for about the last few weeks. And Ty's obviously not thrilled about it because he's sick of driving down the street and seeing these checkered flags everywhere. And then obviously the cows make milk and winners drink milk. So that's going to be out. But this city celebrates this Indy 500 like no other place celebrates anything. It's the largest sporting event on earth every single year. And we're lucky that it happens in this city. And we have the fastest qualifying run in the history of the Indy 500 happening this year. So we're going to assume that the cars are going to be a buzzing on Sunday, unless weather comes in. One half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys tone. Diggs your tone. Pacers Celtics tonight. Obviously, Celtics are favored by 9, 8.5, depending upon at what time you look at the book. Is this a game that you're betting on? Do you think that the Celtics are able to close this out, or are you worried about what the Pacers did at the end of that game? How do you think gamblers should be viewing this one?
I didn't bet the first one just because the spread was so huge and wanted to see what happened. The Pacers played super, super well, and now there's two ways of thinking about this one. Did the complete devastation of just absolutely blowing the end of game one, is that going to lead to the absolute collapse of the team, and is this going to be a 30-point victory for the Celtics? Or did that game show that they can play with the Celtics, and are they going to keep it close? And so in that situation, you would take the dogs here. I don't think I'm going to take the Celtics strictly because it is such a big spread, not because I don't think that they're going to win or whatever. I just don't like taking spreads that big. It would probably be the Pacers or nothing because that the way that they just threw away the end of the game, they just absolutely just said, hey, Celtics, here's the game. Take it. Celtics did. That is tough.
Yeah, with like 10 seconds left, too. It's not just like the end of the game, like the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It was like the final 10 seconds just kind of gave it away. And Boston actually steals one at home, even though at one point they were minus 1,000 to win the series. Now they're minus 2,000 to win the series. The sportsbooks are only getting more favored on the Celtics after watching game one.
Yeah, which is tough, but you would hope that the adjustments that Joe Mazzulla makes going into tonight are a little different. Hopefully they have some sort of plan to slow them down a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see if they continue to just run and gun, what team is just going to crumble first, because really that's what happens when you're running up and down. I mean, they passed the ball 390 times.
Should have got more.
Which is crazy. I mean, all those passes, you would think that they would have won. But again, we'll see what happens. I'm still very, very confident. Game two in the last two series, though, the Celtics have lost.
Okay, yeah.
Both at home.
A historically bad game two team.
Yes.
But with what happened with game one, are they viewing game two as game one? Because you hear Jaylen Brown talk after the game. He's pissed. He's like, yeah, we played. Would you be happy with what we just did? Well, I think what he is realizing is this Pacers team is for real.
For sure.
And the Knicks tried to downplay it, obviously. Well, they beat a bad bench. And then Milwaukee, they beat a hurt team. And, all this shit. It's like, no, the Pacers are the real deal. And the Pacers move.
Yes.
Yeah. They run. This late into the season, this late into a career for some of these guys. And now you got to face a team that is going up and down as if it's a college football team. Can teams keep up? Is that why people potentially get hurt?
Maybe.
Is who you're playing a part of this entire thing. We'll see. Celtics are obviously a phenomenal team, but as are the Pacers. That's why I think a lot of us are like, a little bit more respect, please, for this Pacers team whenever you're chit-chatting about them, even though everybody loves the big markets. Now, speaking of markets, ESPN holds the college football playoff market for like the next 10 years or whatever it was. I forget how many years it is exactly. They signed an extension on top of what they already had. We all know it's moving to a 12-team playoff, so there's more games. They have now become become like a landlord. They are subleasing some of the games to TNT Sports. Congratulations to TNT now getting into the football world and into the college football world with some of the big games. TNT will add 2 quarterfinals each year through to 2026 through 2028, and TNT will present 2 first-round games during 2024 and 2025. Now, those games will be decided, we assume, by ESPN, which ones they're going to let go, just like how Fox did with the Big Ten things whenever Big Ten was trying to negotiate with Peacock to sublease some of the Big Ten games that they had bought outright. ESPN's doing the same for college football playoffs. I think it's a brilliant idea by ESPN, good business by them. But with what TNT's going through right now with the loss of the NBA rights, now they're pivoting to get some of this. I'll be excited to see how, it all works out. Charles Barkley was on Dan Patrick this morning, and he said that morale is terrible.
Yeah.
Morale's terrible.
Tough.
And he also called out leadership at TNT, saying, I don't know how the hell we got to this point. They've won, obviously, the Emmy for studio show. College Game Day and Inside the NBA are the 2 that are just kind of batting the ball back and forth over the net for best studio show for the Emmys. Now, once again, Emmys, who's voting on them? Do you care about their opinion? Sure. A lot of people do, especially in the TV world. And normally it causes a good representation of what's good, what's not. We all agree that show is awesome, phenomenal. Charles Barkley also said to Dan Patrick that he's approached the guys on the show to maybe take that show underneath his production company so that then they can go license that or sell that somewhere. That is the move, boys. That is the move. And I understand it stinks for TNT fans, but in my eyes, with what they have, and I think I saw Mike Golick's wife.
Yes.
She added me in the tweet. She said, if you're ESPN, you give the Inside the NBA team all the money that they want and have the autonomy of what our show has.
Yep.
I would agree completely with that entire thing. Now, did TNT put that show together, or did somebody who owns the show put it together? A little bit different setup than what we have, where, I own the show, we license the show, whoever works here is decided upon by like one person. So Charles Barkley, if it goes into his production company, then he would obviously be the one, or whoever is in the production company would be a part of it. Nonetheless, we need them to figure that out. Need that show to stick together for the good of sports media, for the good as a whole. If it ends up at ESPN, sweet. If that's a part of the conversation with TNT,
yeah, right.
Because Ernie, I think, still has a deal with like if there's still I like that there's a business door being opened between ESPN and TNT, because all the back end people, who are they hired by? TNT, you would assume.
Yeah.
So getting everything else in the business line could happen, but it feels like a lot of moving pieces. We're all hoping that it survives.
And TNT might have football people, but it can go both ways too. Like when the college football playoff comes around and they have to do a pre-show for that, it's like, hey, you can also use ESPN people to do that show on TNT, correct? Or would that be another separate?
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like that the business doors opening between TNT and ESPN, and mostly because of that Inside the NBA show.
Right. Yeah, for
like
sure.
that is how we're all viewing it. It's like, hey, there is a property over there on TNT that is the best in the game. So if you're already doing negotiations and businesses, and it's not just the people that are on camera. Obviously, it's all the people behind camera, whoever's writing the blocks and everything like that, with how their show it goes, I assume, is important. It's like, this is good news for ESPN, definitely. And I think for fans of their show as a whole, it's good news as well.
Now, their hockey show has also done very well. The golf, the match, has also done very well. So I think like they've earned a ton of respect as far as what they do for sports over there.
Yeah, I wonder if ESPN's going to sublease any of the other games, because there's 12-team playoff happening.
Right.
Will they, maybe take a trip down to CW? CW's been trying
CW's deserves it.
CW's been trying to get in this. How about Amazon? You don't think Amazon will pay?
Right.
Apple.
So all of a sudden now, the college football playoff committee had the leverage. And ESPN says, sweet, we'll buy it all because we are a college football network. It's the number 2 sport in America behind the NFL. We love everything about it. The people that work here are obsessed with college football. They breathe college football. We'll do that. Now they are all of a sudden are the ones who, those big platform checks that maybe weren't enough to sway the college football playoff. Maybe 1 or 2 games now you can go in there. This is not from inside information. This is just a natural thought. If they're already subleasing some to TNT, you don't think Amazon's going to be coming with a big one with what they've already proven to do to the NFL for Black Friday games, Thursday night football games? We're talking billions of dollars they're paying.
Yep.
So I'm excited to watch it all unfold. As I read the tweet, I'm like, all of a sudden they become their landlord.
Yeah, they own it.
Now they are the college football playoff. I don't know if this was their idea whenever they got it, but it certainly has become a pretty good business plan as we kind of unroll it. And I think it's good for fans to see other networks, a different taste on everything. Now, pivoting away from college football and from football as a whole, let's go to a man who is a record breaker at one of the most historic races in the history of planet Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Penske team, New Zealander, the pole sitter for the Indy 500, Scott McLaughlin.
Scott.
The lights. We did the lights for you, Scotty. We're doing the lights. Wow. If you didn't break the record, we wouldn't have done it. Yeah, we wouldn't have done it. Obviously, great to see you, buddy. Hey,
He stared you down.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Fine.
Good.
He knows the shit you talk about the race.
Yeah. He'd be fun at parties.
Yeah, he would be fun at parties. From New Zealand,
Yep.
which is not Australia.
No, far from it. But it's like me calling you a Canadian, probably.
Oh, don't do that.
You son of a bitch.
Absolutely.
Don't
do that.
Scott, let's not start like this.
No, I won't.
Okay, I watched Flight of the Conchords. I assume that's...
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah?
I know that show very well.
Okay, so you go New Zealand,
Yep.
start racing whenever you were a kid over there?
Yeah, 6 years old, started, and then I moved to Australia actually when I was 10, and that was more for racing. My mum and dad's business as well. My dad was a truck driver, had a few trucks and stuff, and then I got into race cars when I was 16.
Okay, in Australia, big race scene, right? Because I think you and I chatted about this. We definitely chatted about this. But there was an Australian supercar racer, I believe is the title, that came over for NASCAR, raced in Chicago.
Yep.
He was a rookie in NASCAR. He wins. Like immediately, it's like, okay, here's the next NASCAR guy. He's like, actually, lad, mate. I think you said a word that rhymes with punt, maybe too.
Sure,
You guys love throwing around over there, which is vastly different. But I'm going back to Australia. The race scene in Australia is a big deal, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. He won the Bathurst 1000. I won that race as well, which is like our Daytona 500, our Indy 500. It's basically our everything. And that was the opportunity that allowed me to come here and race. But that was the race he went back for and ended up winning. So he's a stud. He's racing in NASCAR now. One of my good friends, Shane, is, and it's cool to see him. But
I don't think anybody's thinking Australia is like, or New Zealand is a race driver hub. But then all of a sudden your eyes get open whenever you guys with these awesome accents show up, win, and then decide to dip on back.
Yeah.
Now supercars? What type of cars are those most similar to?
Very similar to NASCAR. So the same sort of concept. So when I went from supercars to IndyCar,
Which was when?
That was in 2020, end of 2020. I got the opportunity to come to America. I always wanted to be here. Like America for me was a big league. I'm actually married to an American, so it sort of helped as well.
USA,
So,
USA. Hell yeah.
Exactly. So one day I'll be a citizen, but what?
Don't hold your breath. We got a Canadian back there you're speaking of.
Okay.
It's gonna be
but so moved over here and then did the I always wanted to be in the Indy 500. Like this is the race for me to be a part of, and now to be here and be on the pole and stuff is sick.
Which number Indy 500 is this for you?
This is number 4.
Okay, so I've been told, and now Kyle Larson came over from NASCAR, and obviously he was in the Fast 6. I think he qualified 5th.
Yeah.
Is like the Indy 500, it is, right? It is the spectacle.
Yeah.
Does it take a little bit to learn, like the amount of people, the racing? What is it about the Indy 500?
It's a big month, like just getting used to like the cadence of it and the press.
Ty knows.
And doing stuff. Absolutely, that's huge. The checkered flags on everyone's houses and stuff like that. It's a big deal. So no, look, I took a bit to learn. I've gone really bad, honestly. The last 3 years, I haven't had good results, but I've worked hard this year.
What does that mean, worked hard?
Just like looked at a lot of tape, worked with a driving coach and understood like where I've gone wrong, and I feel like I've come in with a completely different mentality and just ready to rip, man.
How old are
I
you?
can't wait. I'm 31 in June.
Okay, is there a prime age for drivers?
Probably about now. From 28 to sort of 35, that's where you're at. But then I'm racing against like Elio Castroneves and stuff. He's like mid 40s and just killing it. So it's hopefully I'm here till then.
Hell yeah. Whenever you talk about the Indy 500, I know you guys will start with groups of 3. It'll be 3 wide.
Yeah.
And Penske 1, 2, 3. The whole front row is Team Penske. Congrats to you guys.
Yeah.
What do we call the team here? Thirsty Threes.
The Thirsty Threes is my
name
car. That's my team. We're the Thirsty Threes, or Thirsty for Wins.
Hell yeah.
And it's caught on. Like all the commentators call it that, and the fans as well. So it's
Fastest ever qualifying speed. And for those that don't know, you do 4 laps, right? And then what it is, and then it's your average speed over the 4 laps. I think the person that ended up lowest was a rookie. He's not in. He was like going 229.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
He has the record at 233.492. So when you're talking about like tenths of a mile per hour average around the track, that is the difference between on the pole and out of the entire race. How do you steal those extra little tenths, and how did you become the fastest ever? Is it the car? Is it your driving? Is it the year? What is it?
Look, for me, it's like you go after. I went after my teammates, so we were just pulling downforce out of the car. So the more downforce you can pull out of the car, the faster it goes in a straight line. So you're trying to, move around with that thin edge that you've got. But someone like that young kid, Nolan Siegel, that crashed out, like he literally got so much respect because he was flat or I'm hitting the fence, which is like an amazing way to go out, I could say.
Yeah, you guys all have to have that mindset. Flat means pedal completely down.
Yep, to the middle.
And they actually track that on the screen. It's like, where is your pedal at? Yeah. And that's basically like a check. Like, does this person have it or not? Like, it is on the screen. Like, I got a little scared right there. You lifted it up.
Yeah, and he was flat till he hit the fence. So it was like, it went bad in the end, but it was an amazing way to go out. But for me, like, you constantly work. And I remember seeing the first time come up on the dash, like, it was the fastest speed I've ever gone around there. And I was like, oh my, like, don't stuff it up. Just keep it smooth. And I kept working, tools and stuff in the car that we've got to look after the tires. And brought it home over 4 laps. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had, man.
Congratulations. Team Penske going 1 through 3 in the qualifying. Obviously, Penske owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which inevitably owns the IndyCar Series. And you guys cheated a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
There was a push-to-pass situation with Joseph Newgarden. Didn't hit it whenever he was allowed to. It became this big scandal. And since then, you literally win the next week. Now you guys are 1 through 3 on the pole for Indy 500. This is like when the Patriots got called out, and the Patriots had a mindset of, you guys think that we need to cheat to win this thing. You've used it as motivation, it feels like, within the team. Is that accurate?
For sure. At the end of the day, I pushed the button, and the rules are the rules. We got penalised, and it was all about just working hard to get our integrity and our reputation back and build that with our competitors. But we came out the next week. I've never been felt more ready to come out and just smash it. And we won the pole, won the race, and then now we've got the Indy 500 pole, the biggest pole everyone wants. So let's just go.
That's the biggest. Oh, is that right? Because it was getting real loud.
Yeah.
It even made it. I think we led the show with it. It was on national news. I think they were talking about it.
Yeah.
It was like a big deal. And then you guys afterwards go, let's all relax here. Con Man's got a question for you.
So obviously, Scottie, you're not just waking up and hopping into the car and then driving 234 miles an hour. Like, what is the routine to get to that point where you're ready to go? Like, we watched a video of Tyreek Hill at an F1 race, and say what you want about F1, we think it stinks. But what do you do to get ready?
So boring.
I agree.
They do the reflex thing, like catching tennis balls. Like, what's your routine before you actually get in the car and know, like, all right, I'm ready to go as fast as humanly possible?
I've got a couple of little reaction things that I do on my like, I've got an iPad type things like reaction testing and stuff like that. And then I just try and get my heart rate up as much as I can, whether that's just with the skipping rope and whatever. I find I'm more alert when I'm sitting at like 110, 120 heart rate. And then eventually when I get out in the car, it's sort of sitting around 162 the whole time.
Jeez.
How much weight do you lose? You're pretty skinny, lad.
Yeah, 5, 6 pounds normally during a race. So I'll burn like in 2.5, 3 hours. So I'll burn 2,300 calories. So it's a big workout, but we're not just sitting in the car, but it's
we know you're peeing all over yourself.
Of course, pooping.
My teammate does that, not me. So
your teammate poops all over?
No, he doesn't poop himself, but he does pee. I know for sure.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in the last lap and you got to
poop, stop drinking. You got to stop. As soon as you stop drinking, you sweat it out.
Yeah, but you're losing 5-6 pounds. I mean, what do you want from it? It's a tough game there. How fast were the supercars going? How fast does NASCAR go? And then is IndyCar the fastest amongst all racing cars, or where is it?
At the Indy 500, yes. Like we're 180 mile an hour, probably at Bathurst at the fastest race in Australia. Then it was about 205, 210 for a NASCAR, and then on the oval we're 240. I think the fastest I've ever gone is 244, 243.
Okay, so do you know you're going that fast at that time?
It's all relative. It's not until you have a moment. Like if you have a slide, or you're going multiple football fields a second. So like the minute you have
oh my God.
Yeah, the minute you have like a moment, you're like, oh wow, this is going pretty quick. Or you're trying to pull it up into pit lane. I had a crash a couple years ago, and it was like 86G, and it just happened like that. like when I hit the fence. It was just nuts.
Pulling 86 Gs.
Well, 86G, I hit the fence.
When it stops.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. So. It wasn't great.
I would assume. So 180, 205. You guys are going 240. What's the F1 race? Do we know what that is?
I think they get up to like 205 around there as well. Like they're pretty fast there.
Boom.
Okay,
But-
so
Losers.
how about when you said you're going multiple football fields a second? So your eyes, they can't catch everything, or it does catch everything?
It's like a little bit of speed blur, you could say, but like I said, it's all the people going out with you. They're all doing the same speed, so it's all relative.
Well, not
Until
everybody. We see people get lapped in the back,
Yeah. Oh,
and they're just trying to collect check. Yeah.
they're starting the race, getting the check, getting on going. But no, look, it's competitive out there. I'm telling you. Like there'll be 33, and it'll be just a dogfight the whole time, and that's what's so cool about.
But you guys have to look out for each other because at that speed, obviously, there can't be any fuckery.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust, man. Like we are, like you're running wheel to wheel, and the minute you touch wheels, you're just like a ping pong ball down the walls if that happens. So you've got to be pretty careful, and I think that's why you have a lot of camaraderie between the drivers. But at the same time, you've got to sort of you stand up for yourself as well.
Yeah, if you don't win, you're going to get kicked out of there. Camaraderie is good until you're no longer part of the group or whatever. I know that they've been trying to change the build of the car so it's safer. But every year there's somebody that squirrel suits, and like Scott Dixon a few years back.
The tire last year.
The tire went flying. It's like this year's car. Has it changed much from last year's car?
No, it's same car. So we've still got the aero screen and stuff that comes over. So it's the halo, but with a screen on top of it to stop anything coming in the cockpit. But they've made a huge amount of like technical changes to be it safer for us. But at the end of the day, it's motorsport. You're always risking at some point. Like you can go over the top of a wheel or something like that.
240 miles an hour, open wheel. It used to be. They used to not even have used to just be their helmet sticking up out of the thing, and it's like 230 miles an hour.
That's badass. Like it's cool, man. Though, like you've got to have that element of risk, though. You could like that. That's the cool feeling about being a racing driver, is being able to have that risk and know that if this goes wrong, it will hurt and it'll be a problem. But that's if you can go fast and you can do the lap that we did on the weekend, that's unreal.
I just got a heads up from friend of the program, Connor Daly via Zito.
Connor,
heard you can just erase beers.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what Connor says. Just real quick, the guy that you're talking to right now can house beers. So we're celebrating success. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's why we call the 33s.
Party. Is that a New Zealand thing?
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess we do drink a lot of beer over in New Zealand for sure, but we brought a new party scene to the IndyCar series, that's for sure.
I love that. Tone has a question for you, Scott.
Scott, there's a chance for storms and rain on Sunday. Does that matter to you when the slicks come off and the wets go on, or does it matter to you at all?
We don't run in the rain on the oval, so we don't have wet. So we'll just have to wait. I'll just be playing PlayStation or something to
any rain, or just if there's any moisture on the track.
Any moisture. If it's like a mist, they'll stop it. But they've got. I think they can get air tightens out. It's like
on 240 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Can't just have
70 minutes
where I
to dry
come
the track.
from, you just put the wets on and you just keep going.
Oh yeah, and I do that on the road course, street course, but on the oval, man.
Done 240 miles an hour.
Indy 500, Tony. They don't just race.
I'm just saying where I come from.
Yeah, you're doing like 30 mile an hour, right?
No.
Watch your mouth.
I was born down in Talladega, so.
Oh, respect. Respect. Those guys don't
What
play.
is the best weather? Warm, cold?
Warm's like it's humid. That's a problem. But we'll go warm.
Warm's best, no humidity though.
No humidity for the engine performance.
And for stickiness of tires on track, right?
Yeah. So the hardest thing when you're following in traffic is like getting right behind a car in the heat. And if it's a little cooler, it makes that life a little bit easier. But
Ty has a question for you, massive 500 fan.
Yeah, so obviously I've been very vocal about the Indy 500, but that does not mean that I don't. I mean, you're going 234 miles an hour in a car.
I do love the banter.
That's
I do respect that.
But I didn't grow up in like a racing community per se. Same deal. Like parents weren't into cars or anything like that. I've been once. I have said like, hey, if you have the opportunity to go once, absolutely do it. It's sweet. But how would you sell watching the Indy 500 to someone who has no stake in the game, doesn't care at all? Like, why should I watch this weekend?
Look, I think it's amazing just being a part of. One, you see history. It's a race that's been going for. This is the 108th running of the race. The historic feature of it is it's hard to go past. Then you have 450,000 people. There's 50,000 inside the place that doesn't know what's going on because the snake pit's happening and whatnot.
Timmy Trump at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
On Sunday.
See you there.
Just if you're a sport fan, you just like it's amazing to be a part of. Just seeing like it's one of the top 5 best sporting events in the world. and I think it's a bucket list for any sports person to come over and just check it out and see what goes on.
Well, hopefully you'll get the milk. What type of milk do you already
Whole
make?
milk.
Whole milk.
Whole milk, absolutely.
Yeah, just dump that shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll be drinking that like crazy.
Well, dump that and then you get a couple. Scottie, good luck. We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
making time to stop by, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, before you get up and leave,
Yeah, I don't know. What's the deal here? Do I just go?
well, we're going to throw into a conversation with Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
Could be Indy
Yeah.
500 champion.
Let's hope.
We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
I appreciate
Can't
you
wait to
guys.
have a beer or two with you. I don't think I've
yeah.
ever drank with somebody from New Zealand.
Yeah, well, let's do it. Yeah,
Australia?
not now, but Sunday for sure.
Foster's New Zealand for beer.
Right now, we're locked in right now?
Yeah, we're locked in. Yeah. I'll have a sherbet on Sunday.
Okay, good. You deserve a good show.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
All right, from Scottie McLaughlin, the poll sitter for the Indy 500, to Patrick Mahomes, the new investor of Throne Sport Coffee, and obviously on his way to be a GOAT. Here's our conversation with Patrick Mahomes from yesterday. How's practice? How's life? How do you feel? You know, people calling you fat again. That's a whole time of your life. I guess this is going to be the angle people are going to attack you. But you're back at OTAs. People are attacking how you looked. How do you feel though? How's the body after another offseason?
I feel good, man. It kind of surprised me. I thought we got the whole dad bod thing out of the way last season actually in the playoffs. But I guess people still haven't realized that I don't have abs. So I'll continue to work on that. And hopefully one of these days we can figure out how to get a looser T-shirt. I mean, the backpack's just holding my shirt in, man.
Yeah.
Looser T-shirt at least.
Yeah, I understand. And also you got that, because you're so explosive, you got that massive ass. So the T-shirt sits up on the ass too. It's because you're so athletic that you look this way. But this is your new world, pal. Everything you do is going to be overanalyzed and chit-chatted about because you're on your way to GOAT status at such a young age. Congrats again for that.
Yeah.
This comes with it.
I appreciate you.
This comes with, this guy's fat. We got to find things that aren't perfect to this guy because seemingly everything else is perfect. We are very lucky to watch your time. Let's talk about it a little bit. You're in the middle of the business era now, it feels like. I saw you give a speech, I think at a Sports Illustrated, talking about the women's soccer team that you and your wife are invested in, about the other businesses you're a part of, and now, boom, we got Throne Sport Coffee.
Yeah.
This is awesome. How'd you get into this? And what should people expect whenever they open up a Throne Sport Coffee on the go?
Yeah, no, I actually got into it very naturally. A guy named Michael Fedeli, who's the guy who invented Throne Sport Coffee, reached out to me because he heard I drank a lot of coffee. And he basically said, I have a healthy iced coffee. Would you have any interest in it? And I definitely was very interested. It's something that I drink on a daily basis. Whenever he actually gave me samples first, and I tried them. I liked it a lot. We kind of tweaked some things here and there, and whenever you can have amino acids, natural caffeine, some vitamin B, all the healthy stuff that you get in all those healthy hydration drinks, but in a coffee, it seemed perfect for me. And I mean, I'm crushing them on a daily basis now, and I'm excited for the world to get to really get into them.
Absolutely. You can get some at sportcoffee.com. It's also available on Amazon. Whoa, that feels like a cheat code.
Yeah, it's huge.
Hey, let's go business.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go business. That's good business.
Amazon, man, you can't go wrong with that.
Dude, overnight, literally just overnight, like you could just get probably a pallet of 100 of these. Now, the office has had a few of these for the last few days. We also, coffee drinkers over here, love the buzz, love the energy. I believe the Mocha Java is the fan favorite over here. French vanilla, not beloved by everybody because we don't have a sophisticated enough palate, but everybody's going to have. What is your favorite?
I like Mocha Java as well. I also like the salted caramel or caramel, whatever region of the country you're in. I like both of those. And then the black coffee's easy. I drink black coffee anyways if I drink it hot. So just have a nice, easy option with no flavor. I mean, they're really all good, man. It just depends on your taste.
That's real. And there's so many different options of coffee. I've gotten into it as I've grown older, and I do feel like an old man whenever I'm having my coffee. My wife loves it. She makes great espresso and everything. These are Hey, you did it.
Got one.
It feels like a good business. It's in our fridge. It's literally stocked in our fridge. The salted caramel one ran out quick. I believe everybody grabbed it. So congrats to that. Are you going to be able to be focused enough to still play football?
Good
question.
You said that you'll be focused enough to still play football?
I'm gonna be too focused. I think the thing is, sometimes I drink so much that I kind of get too amped up, too excited for the day. So no, I'll definitely be focused, man. And it's a substitute for me for some of the other energy drinks drinks or whatever you wanted to drink. And so now I can just focus on my hydration and sports coffee to get me through the day of those long, meetings and stuff that we do in football.
Yeah, you do. I didn't have to do that. For me, it was pretty short meetings.
I'm meeting and you're at the golf course. That's how it rolled.
Actually, cornhole. Yeah, I stayed in the building. I was in the locker room. I got real good at the cornhole. I got real dialed in, felt good. Was a little bit of a hustler. But let's talk about this. Because you got businesses. People are going to buy it because you're associated with it because you're Patrick Mahomes. You've had all this success in the world already at such a young age. You've gotten paid massive. Now you're due. Well, it's not. Yep. Other contracts have happened. You don't have to be the one doing that. But it still feels like you guys are incredibly hungry and driven. Do you think it's because your dad, professional athlete? Do you think it's because you're coaching? Why do you think you have the jib of a guy who just constantly wants to keep going as opposed to getting satisfied ever?
Yeah, I think it's just I understand how lucky I am, man. To be the Kansas City Chiefs, to have Coach Reed, to have Travis Kelce, all these great players around me, and I don't want to look back and have regrets, man. I want to win as many Super Bowls as possible, and I know it's hard. It's hard every single year, but I just try to be driven every single day to be the best that I can be. And I know that's a serious answer, but that's really who I want to be, is someone that gives it their all on the football field. And if I do that, I'll have no regrets at the end of my career. And I've been lucky to be in this position, and I'm going to try to do whatever I can to maximize that.
It's not serious, and it would only be cliche if you didn't mean it. And I think whenever the greats say things, other people try to replicate it. You have obviously proven it time and time again. No team has ever gone 3 in a row. No team. You guys were already talking about that immediately after the last one. Like, we're going to run this shit back. I think Travis said or whatever. Nobody's ever gone 3 in a row. You guys already had it in your mind. And now you look at some of the acquisitions that your team has made. We got Hollywood, obviously incredibly explosive and fast and can make all the plays. You bring in the fastest 40 in the history of the combine. It feels like it's cheating with your style of offense. What is it going to look like? How does it feel to have a little bit more weaponry, I think, around you maybe than last year? And what are your early thoughts on it all?
Oh, man, I'm excited. Just getting those guys out there. Hollywood's been making plays all week long, and since we started the OTAs, practice against the defense. Seeing X-Man really running how fast he is, and then adding to guys like Rasheed and Travis and the Wiley tight end that we got, and Noah Gray. It's cool. It's cool to have weapons, man. It's cool to have these guys out there that want to go out there and be great. And obviously we made it happen last year, and we added to that mix to go along with that Spagnuolo defense. I think we're going to be a hard team to beat when the season comes around.
Let's talk about that Spagnuolo defense, and he was great on our show. It seems like everybody loves him that's ever played for him. You said something at a press conference, I forget when it was, maybe in the playoffs after you guys beat Buffalo. You said earlier in the year you had to learn hey, our defense can win us games. Our defense can win us games. Now that the offense has been loaded up with weapons, and you also still have the mindset of the defense being able to do it, do you think last year made you a much better quarterback situationally, or what do you take away from that going into this upcoming season?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. You got the feel of how the team is built. And I think this year we're going to have a team that's built to throw the ball deep. Coach Reed's been preaching it all offseason. We're going to get back to throwing the deep ball. I have to be smart when we do that, but at the same time, I want to be that explosive offense that we've seen in the past, and it takes pressure off the defense. And then when we get up, that's when Spagnuolo can really show off all those blitzes he's working on, man. And I'm glad that I only have to go up against them. I don't have to go up against them in the season, only in training camp, because I do blitzes from everywhere, and I want to make sure we can get him that lead so he can really show off that entire defensive game plan that he has.
I'm excited that we have the opportunity to see Patrick Mahomes sprinting backwards again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sprinting backwards, delay, Madden. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We're all pumped about that, but watching you guys win in a new way last year, I think solidified and upped the respect that everybody had for you guys from a football team. Now, this upcoming season, though, schedule release, there's some big dogs early. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Patrick, last year in the AFC Championship, you guys had the Ravens, and then the year before that, you guys had the Bengals. You guys have them week 1 and 2. Do you like those early tests early on in the season to see where you guys are at, or would you rather, have those guys maybe later on in the year?
It doesn't matter. They're great football teams. We knew we had to play them, and we know we had to bring our best in order to beat them. Baltimore and Cincinnati, both great football teams. That's why we're playing them in the AFC Championship games these the past few years, and I think it gets guys focused. To know that we got to come in with our best stuff week 1. We saw that last year when the Lions beat us. So we got to be better than we were at the beginning of last year. It's going to take our best football. It's not we're going to be able to just walk in and win football games. And, even the Sunday Night Football week 3, against the Falcons. That's going to be a great football team. So the only thing I don't like is the early bye, man. The early bye is always tough. But other than that, I mean, I'm just ready to play football, and let's see what happens.
I didn't pay attention. Super Bowl champions. What week did you get by?
I think it's week 6.
What?
It's like
Come on.
earliest I've ever had a bye, man. We do get the Christmas Wednesday night game, which could be like a 4-day weekend. So that could help out a little bit. But at the same time, man, I mean, that week 6 bye it's Texas Tech's bye, too. I can't even go to my college's football game either.
Well, you guys getting a week 6, this is all kind of hitting me. That's disrespect.
That's bad.
Normally you get an early bye week, it's like, oh, we were crap early last year. Like, you earn a good bye week normally. So the Super Bowl champs are week 6? Wow. What the hell's going on over there, Raj? Do you think they're working against you? You think now you guys have gotten too good? Are you guys now the Patriots? Everybody's working against the Kansas City Chiefs? What are your thoughts on that being a real thing? Not from the league, obviously, but you guys have gotten to the point where you're too good. You know, you're too likable. Travis, obviously, the man. You know, he's got songs being sung about him, his friends, and his dad by the biggest star on earth. You've kind of embraced that heel role. We saw you punch or give a dynasty to Logan Paul to punch somebody in the head at Monday Night Raw. Was there a moment where you realized, like, okay, people are going to hate us regardless of what we do? And have you fully embraced that and expect that for what, the rest of your life now?
Yeah, you're probably going to get it for pretty much at least the rest of my career. I mean, Brady did come back at the end and kind of got back on the good graces of everybody. So maybe I can make that turn at the very end of my career, maybe. But we weren't like the playoff run kind of really stamped that for me. Going to Buffalo, going to Baltimore, you could tell that the teams and the fans did not like us. But at the same time, man, you just got to go out there and win football games. They can't say much when you're winning the games, and so I just embraced that. And then the WWE thing was awesome. That thing was sweet. I wish I should have got in the ring, man. I got to show off my skills a little bit.
I think anytime you'd like to do that, that is certainly available for you. You know, the place was very conflicted. Because obviously you're Patrick Mahomes, but they're not the biggest fan of Logan Paul. Logan Paul doesn't want any of those people to like him. And then the guy with the head that ends up getting hit with the dynasty, he's J.D. McDonough. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. And everybody loves Jey Uso. But boom, you knew that it'd be too much time. Jey Uso would be able to regain his balance and be able to flip this thing on its head, right? You didn't think Jey Uso was going to get punched, Patrick.
No, I've seen enough to know that Jey Uso is good about getting out of those situations. When he does the yeet, that was intense, man. I love that. And then at the same time, though, that's my man Logan. I know he's not the biggest fan favorite over there in the WWE, but I had to make sure I try to help him out a little bit. But I was definitely scared of the big dude. The big dude was a lot bigger than I expected to see whenever he walked up. And I was very, very glad, thankful for Jey Uso of getting him out of there because I was not ready to go.
Yeah, and the boys obviously stood up and ready to fight for you, and that's good leadership. You're a multiple-time MVP, the face of the league, and the boys are still ready to fight a big son of a bitch on the site for you in Braun Strowman. And we were very thankful that you came through there. That's the first time ever Super Bowl rings.
Oh, yeah.
Those fake? There's a fake Super Bowl rings?
No, they're real. What are you talking about?
Damn.
Right to that, JD.
I know. Still wearing it.
Yeah, he's still got bruises.
Yeah,
brutal.
Many, it's like a.
How could he?
Logan never gave my rings back. If you want to get those back for me,
That's a heel move. That's a heel move.
Yes, it is.
Hey, that's what you sign up for. You know, that's what you sign up. Let's talk about. I wanted to chat about. You said, you know, at the end of Tom's career, people started coming back around. Do you and Tom talk? Feels like that would be the only human maybe that would understand potentially where you are in the history of the game, potentially.
We do talk a little bit. He's always kind of giving me some advice here and there. He's not going to tell me all of his secrets, but he's even. I remember back to the AFC Championship game that they beat us. I mean, he gave me some advice in the locker room after that. He's a really good dude, man. I'm glad that he was able to go out there and win those Super Bowls, except for the one against me, and really just show off what hard work and dedication can really do. And it's taught me a ton of. I got to continue to get better and better. And you saw that throughout Tom's career. And when I do reach out for advice, he's willing to give that. And I think he's going to make a great impact on the game, calling games, and then at the same time giving advice to young players.
So when Tom and you talk about, you know, advice and stuff, he says, they're going to come for you. People are going to hate you. You're going to have to rebuild your team multiple times, and don't ever do a roast. Is that how it goes?
I will definitely be staying away from the roast. That was when I heard they actually asked me to go to it, and I was like, man, I just can't even believe that this is happening. But there was some funny moments in there. I will give that. The comedians did a good job, but roast, I mean, there's no rules. You kind of just have to go out there and just sit there and listen to everybody talk trash about you. So I will stay away from that throughout my lifetime and try to just stay on the straight and narrow.
That's smart. Hey, that's a good decision.
Yeah, right,
good move.
We're all very
Smart.
flustered as well. Whatever this was about, I was like, so Tom's just signing up to go out there. Thick skin, gotta have thick skin. And then I think Tom afterwards said, I was a little naive to, the thought of everything I've ever done in my life that is not great is going to get put out to the world so I can relive it.
Yeah.
And then I got to laugh. If you don't laugh, you're an asshole.
Right.
Oh, okay, you're a bad guy. I thought it was so good that guys like you who they would want to do it again will not sign up to do it. Like, nobody's signing up to do that. Especially afterwards, Tom's like, yeah, one of the worst decisions I've ever made doing it. My kids just lost their. It's a shame, but it was a good night. Hey, it was good.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tom.
Funny.
And that's the advice.
They might be able to get Travis. They might be able to get him.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Would be giant. You would have to be there for that, obviously, because you two are a tag team.
I don't know, though. I don't know. Gronk was getting almost as bad as Tom was on the roast, so I don't know if I could even be there if Travis goes.
That you have to be. That's a part of the whole. You guys are like the greatest tag team in football. It's becoming that. Do you guys? I mean, does it feel real? Everything that you two have been able to accomplish. Well, you walk into the F1 race. You throw a ball into the second level. That's like the most exciting thing that happens at the entire F1 race. We even chit-chat. Look at him undo his buttons a little bit.
Yeah. Wow.
Just showed up, has sunglasses. Go ahead.
I gotta get some room for that dad bod, man. That shirt was kind of tight. No, but they didn't even warn me. They just kind of handed me a football and said, "Can you throw it to this guy?" And I was just like, "Yeah, why not? I mean, it's football. I can do it." And so we chunked it around there in the Dolphin Stadium, and I got to watch a great race. Got a pole, Alpine. Got a 10th place finish, which is points on the board. So we had a nice weekend down there in Miami.
Well, okay, so you're the belle of the ball at F1,
Yep.
where everybody is. Everything you do is documented and watch and judge. Travis Kelce, he's dancing at concerts. We're seeing 45 different angles of how he's responding. Just a few years ago, Chiefs weren't like, hey, Chiefs are good, but they're not going to be anything. Could you guys have ever imagined where you're both at right now? You two are like the faces of the NFL in Kansas City and obviously playing at a higher level than everybody else still.
Yeah, I think you'd be lying to say that we could have imagined the run that we've been on. I mean, obviously this is the goal. You wanted to win Super Bowls and you wanted to do it as quickly as possible. But I think when we look back on it, we'll even realize how special it's been. Right now, we're just embracing the moment, being able to come to work every single day and play football and win football games, and then to live all our dreams outside of football. It's been a lot of fun. I haven't been able to travel like Travis because I got kids, but I've been able to move around a little bit within the United States and kind of take my kids and let them see stuff that they probably won't get to see again because of how this run that we've been on.
Yeah, I assume you're getting invited to a lot of things. Yeah, it's wild you didn't go to Lake Como.
Yeah.
Heard Travis was at Lake Como this weekend. My algorithm also tells me everything Travis is doing with his life. Always. And then my wife will tell me everything that Taylor's doing. So I feel like I'm a part of their relationship. I couldn't even imagine being on that side of it all. You guys are handling it great. You need to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Legit. Just
appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. We enjoy it. It's been a fun run. I like to take some of the credit. I was the one who invited Travis to the first Taylor concert when the friendship bracelet was. He was sitting in my suite, so I feel like I was the matchmaker. I had some input in there as well. I was like, dude, just go for it. Just go for it. And Travis, man, he does it, and he's a great dude, and I'm glad that it's all worked out for the best.
Potentially going to be the greatest football player of all time, greatest matchmaker of all time, maybe.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there's a chance that this guy's greatest sport coffee investor in the history of business. I mean, the accolades go on and on. Speaking of that, with how much success you've had, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Patrick, at this point in your career, coming off 2 Super Bowls, everything you've accomplished, well on your way to being the greatest of all time, like, what do you even have to work or improve on, like, going into an offseason? Like, when you're going into OTAs, offseason, and then training camp, like, is there anything specific that you're like, okay, this is where I wasn't very good last year, this is where I need to be better? Or is it more so just like, hey, I know that I'm going to be ready when the lights come on, and now it's kind of just like building that rapport with my new teammates and kind of shaking some of the cobwebs out from not throwing the football around for a little bit.
Kind of both, man. I mean, you want to. I think what I wanted to emphasize this year was getting back to the deep passes. I feel like I missed some last year. Where prior years I'd hit them, so I'm trying to make sure that I push the envelope, and especially in practice, and try to see if I can continue to work on that and hit some of those deep passes that I missed last year. And then with all the new guys that we have, you got to kind of, like you said, get on the same page with them. I mean, Hollywood, Xavier, some of these guys I've worked with a little bit, but I want to continue to get that work in with them, and so that we can get them up to speed. And whenever we get on that football field here in the early September, we're ready to roll from the beginning because, like y'all said, man, we play two great football teams to start off the season.
Do you feel like there's a time of year where you got, obviously the end of the year is when you guys are always playing your best ball. You guys get bored in the middle now at this stage because of how many dubs you've had? Is that a thought too? Like last year, there was a couple games you were sick. It was windy.
Or Denver.
Christmas.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
There was like you were sick, I think, one of these games. And then it was windy.
Super
The wind was insane. But there was a big turn. It was like, oh, Chiefs is no longer the Chiefs. And literally all I kept saying, loud stooge, just because I wanted to believe, I said, Chiefs is still the Chiefs. Let's fucking relax here. But is there, a part of the season now at this point, like, hey, we're going to have to focus in the middle. And there's going to be 18 games by the time you're done with this entire thing, with how long the season is. Is it impossible to go wire to wire? Is that something that you can't think about? Or what is your view on that as a whole?
I think we got to be better. I don't want to say we were bored because you can't be bored in the NFL. You play great teams every single week. But there's definitely a different intensity in the playoffs. And I think just trying to make sure that we can replicate that intensity on a weekly basis and have that same mindset is something that we're going to work on this year, and try to play better football through and through so that we're not on the road going to Buffalo or Baltimore or wherever that is, and we can try to have those playoff games home at Arrowhead because it's a special place. And I think we just got to be better as a team. I mean, we won the Super Bowl and everybody kind of glossed over the whole entire season that we had, but we have a lot to work on, and I'm excited to get these young guys working.
Yeah, we just got to be better, Of course. We got to be better. My team didn't even make the playoffs.
They got to be better, too.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they're saying the same fucking thing.
They are.
I watched that.
We're for the culture, like one of the only teams that have a losing record against, something like that.
You know why?
Is it you?
The Loud House. It's tough. Lucas Oil Stadium's tough place to play, Pat. It's tough. Hey, it's a tough place.
Because they opened the roof. They opened the roof, man. You got the shadows got us.
Well, that's the thing. And also the wind. I know Kansas City, a pretty windy place, but when that window's open, it's a wind tunnel in there.
Yep.
It is tough to handle. That was a stat that came out last season. Yeah, it was your first away playoff game. Now, Super Bowls have never been played at home, I don't think, which you had in the past. But your first away play, and that's because you guys weren't the number one seed. And it was like, is it over? Is it over for this? Because you guys weren't number one seed. Is it easy or hard to deal with the expectations every year that you're Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs need to win? Like having a road playoff game was like, have they lost their fastball?
Uh-oh.
Like that's a real thing that's happening now at this stage of where you guys are. Is that easy or hard?
It's easy. I mean, just you have to have the mentality of being the best you can be, man. You want to be the best, and when you're there, you have to continue to work at it to stay on top. And in any profession, man, you got to continue to work. And I think Tom was the prime example of that. He never was satisfied with where he's at, and I think our guys in our locker room have that same mentality of we have to continue to compete. And that's what we're doing right now. I mean, we're talking trash out their offense versus defense, and both sides and the entire team want to be the best. And that's what you have to have. And Coach Reed's kind of the leader of that, man. He pushes us to continue to be better and better every single year.
Feels like you got all the right guys. Veach out there is seemingly a genius alongside Reed. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Pat, how is the relationship with Veach? Because when we were talking to GM of the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane, he mentioned how, Josh Allen texted him, hey, Keon Coleman, love him. And when Xavier Worthy ran that 4-2-1, I think we all assumed somehow, some way, the Chiefs are going to get this guy and he's going to have 2,000 yards next year. Did you text Veach like, hey, you son of a bitch, you better trade up right now and get Xavier Worthy so we can bring the deep ball back? Or is that something where you just kind of let those guys do their thing and then you go out there and win 12 games, 13 games in the Super Bowl?
I give my input, but I'll let those guys make the decisions. I'll go in there and I'll watch the film of all the guys coming out of college as much as I can. Not as much as them, obviously, but as much as I can, and I kind of give my input on the guys that I like and the guys that I would love to get on our team, think can fit really well. And then I let them kind of rank the board and make those picks. But they do show me kind of what they're thinking and if this situation falls the right way. But I'll just say I was very excited to get Xavier Worthy. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it made no sense. It was so stupid. How did the Chiefs end up with this fucking guy?
Ridiculous.
How is this what this is? Because Tyreek Hill, obviously, it was a different Chiefs offense, had success. Kadarius Toney comes in, obviously still a lot of hope and optimism out of the entire building, coach, you, everybody. But now it's like that one piece that seemingly is unstoppable is back now in the offense. And when you pair that with Travis and you bring in Hollywood, then you got Rasheed, let's go. Rasheed, let's go. Okay, it's like all of a sudden we're staring down maybe the best Chiefs team, which is bullshit. You need to know that it's absolute bullshit, and we all feel that way, okay? You just need to know that and keep going, keep continuing to represent the NFL, and we're all incredibly grateful for you, pal. How's the golf game right now?
Golf game's really good. Just got back from Augusta last weekend. Got the last weekend in at Augusta and played really well out there. Played great from the members' tees, and then tried to play the pro tees. Did not go as well.
Did you say on the property there?
Oh yeah, suit and tie, baby.
Oh, we lost you. Is he gone?
It might be Augusta.
Augusta said you said our name.
Yeah.
What the
Stop
fuck?
it. Stop
Don't
it.
say that you played.
Augusta tried
They
to cut me out. Now I was suit and tie. I was on property.
Okay, how many bottles of wine did we go through at the dinner?
You know me, man. I'm not a wine guy. I'm a Coors Light guy. That's just who I am.
I've heard. I think the Kelsey's right. Then Jason. I think on New Heights, Jason and Travis talked about how, Patrick always says Travis is a party guy or whatever. They're saying the amount of Coors Lights that you can put down is an absurd amount, and then you're just completely operating as if nothing happened. Actual football guy doing everything you're doing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean the dad bod doesn't happen by itself, man. You got to get some Coors Lights in there.
Boom.
Hey, man. Got to keep living. Yeah. Still like ketchup? You done with ketchup now?
I'm still a fan of ketchup, not as much as I was as a kid, but still have ketchup on most things.
What is the high society taste buds that have gotten in? We got cars. Obviously, we've seen everybody's seen the house.
Yeah.
House is phenomenal. Great work on that. You deserve it. You've earned it. But cars, anything else?
I got a good amount of cars. They gave me some free cars, so that helps. And then I have a couple of expensive cars myself.
Which one? You don't obviously. If you don't want to say which one.
The two that people know about are the Rolls that I have and the Ferrari that I have. So that I'll leave it there, but I have a couple more as well.
Woo, good for this guy.
Good
man.
for you.
Wow.
Good for you, bro. You've earned it all. Hopefully, Throne Sport Coffee will buy you some more cars and more success and hopefully more happiness and fulfillment as you continue to etch a path that could end with you being the greatest of all time in the history of our sport. We appreciate you, brother. Keep enjoying life over there. Tell the family you're crushing it as well, obviously.
No, I will. Appreciate you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. How about it? Patrick Mahomes, Throne Sport Coffee. I will say the French vanilla one, as we alluded to him, isn't for us. I assume there is people that enjoy French vanilla that would like it. Mm-hmm. That Mocha Java one.
Delicious.
Home run.
I need to get my hands on the salted caramel.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be available in every store everywhere because he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Should be.
And also the Michael Fanili.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, thank you for stopping by, Patrick. You're the man right in the middle of OTAs. They're on a tear to try to do something nobody's ever done, 3 straight.
Whoa.
And they got better somehow, which is a bummer, but that guy is an incredible face of the NFL. He was trying to help out Jey Uso. Let's never forget that. Hour 2 on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commission.
This is why we're on set?
Yep. You can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you.
What?
Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Hell yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah.
Come on there, baby.
Good pick.
Thank you,
I'll pick him up.
Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Doesn't count.
Big Pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they
And
kicked you
that's
out.
when that's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
That's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, anyone talk to her. There it is.
No.
Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need preseason.
Waste of time, right? And energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, they have to spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. What? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Damn it!
be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Japanese Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Domo arigato!
Domo arigato is right. We just had Patrick Mahomes' interview on in the last hour. We were joined by the Indy 500 pole sitter, Scott McLaughlin, who I think we're all massive fans of after learning more about him and the way he conducted himself in here. And in this hour, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have Shota Imanaga on the program, and he speaks Japanese, so he had a translator with him whose name was
Edwin
Stanberry.
Bingo.
And he was fun. Just wait till you watch this.
Yep.
Okay, now, this is not the first time that I've interviewed somebody who had a translator next to them. In my early relationship with SeatGeek, they had the MLS deal, and we had access to their media day, and SeatGeek was like, hey, good opportunity. We'll pay you to go do this. And it was in California, and it was great content. And we were very thankful to get there. Nobody spoke English. Not a single person spoke English that was available for media days. And obviously we found that out 20, 30 minutes beforehand. So we had somebody go run to a local store, get a Bop It.
Yep, good move.
Get a Bop It.
Crosses barriers.
Yep, and turns out it did.
Yep.
So that was a good icebreaker. And then what it becomes is me and the translator here. Just wait. It is, I think we did okay.
It's
for
awesome.
a Japanese talk show interview with a pitcher who is historically great right now. As a rookie, 30-year-old, which we dive into, for the Chicago Cubs, I think it should be good. There's also a lot of information coming out of Louisville. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Joining us live from Imanaga, Ohio, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, and current president of Ohio, AJ Hawk.
And maybe Hogger.
AJ, good to see you. Wait till you see the balance with the Japanese-English thing that we do later. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know if anyone can handle the whole translator interview, it is you.
Well, not just me. The boys, hey, we all got involved here.
Yeah.
The whole team got involved, which is, I think this might be one of the greatest translators to ever exist. Definitely better than Shohei's. From what we know right now. AJ, we know you're the president of Ohio. That was a crown that was bestowed upon your head by Ryan Day, the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You had to give a speech. You had to do everything. If you were the president of Kentucky, I think the way you'd be speaking about what we're learning about what happened with Scottie Scheffler outside of the Valhalla Golf Club a day into a major happening there with the number one golfer in the world, I think you, as the president, would be embarrassed of your state and what's taking place. Now, there was a press conference earlier today by the Louisville mayor and everything else. They're going to continue this on to June 3rd, where he'll get arraigned, and they will let the law process kind of happen, is what the mayor said, which immediately everybody goes, what are we doing here? What are we even doing? And that was before we even saw the video of what happened that was just released. Now, remember, no body cams are on any of the police that were out there. Interesting. But there is a video from a telephone pole across the street. Now, there's two buses in between where the incident takes place and where the telephone pole is. So the original shot of this video is about 3/4 a bus, and then you got to look above it to see Scottie Scheffler and the incident with this cop who, I'll tell you what, there is no cop in America that's like, yep, that cop represents all cops. Because it's situations that happen with cops like this that make all other cops look like assholes. And now we know that in any profession, there's always going to be assholes. There's always going to be ego-driven people. Especially in that particular one, there's people that have a little heavier badge than other people that are in their profession. We have to understand that's how humans operate. Not all cops are bad. But whenever you hear something like this with the number one golfer in the world, in his description of what's taking place, in Jeff Darlington's description of what took place right in front of him, it's hard not to immediately assume that this is all bullshit, which the entire world did. Wait till you see the video. I don't know if everybody's got a chance to see it. Wait till you see the video. So what we're thinking happened here is there was a blocked road. Is this mic on? There is traffic stopped right down here because there was a terrible accident that took place in the morning where a member of the PGA Tour vendors or something that worked for the tournament, PGA Championship, ended up dying. So we're incredibly sad. This is not cool. This is a terrible situation that's taking place. Traffic is stopped here. Scottie Scheffler's car is about to come from over here. What we're thinking happened is somebody told him, oh, you're the number one golfer on earth. Yeah, you can go into the golf course at 6:01 a.m. to start your routine. This is the golf course right here, okay? Right? From what we've been told.
Right.
And a marked courtesy car as well. And a marked courtesy car that all the golfers are driving.
PGA Championship. Plus, Scottie Scheffler, number one golfer on earth in this tournament. Number one. Like, this is so this is him coming through here. Nicest guy on earth, Scottie.
Yeah.
Just to add on, hey, this guy's a wet blanket. He's boring. Everybody's saying it because he's the nicest human ever.
Correct.
There is no pizzazz about anything in his personal life because he is, once again, the nicest human on earth. Gotta have a rap sheet if he's going to be charged with a felony in Louisville, right? No! Actually, never got anything lower than an A in school. Like, that is who this human is. Here he comes driving in. PGA Championship car. He'll be pulling in from this particular side right here. Okay, here's his car. Bang. Who told him to get away? I don't know. Here's the cop running. He tries to smash the windshield. Now, did he get dragged? I don't know. I didn't see it dragging anywhere, which was in the police report. I don't know how his pants could be in any trouble unless he, and I think I saw Pompliano say this, unless he shit his pants.
Yeah.
We're not 100% sure if that's the case. Maybe he did shit his pants running, jumping, trying to break the windshield. So now him and Scottie Scheffler are talking to each other. Scottie's probably telling him, I was told to go golf at a golf tournament. that I'm the number one golfer in the world. This is a major happening, actually. Yeah, that's why I turned left here to get in. And they go, oh, shut the fuck up. That's what they're saying. Now, we don't know if that's true. This is all alleged from us just watching this video.
Assume.
It gets so heated. They open the door. He reached in at one point trying to, I think, turn the car off. They open the door, drag him out, put him in cuffs. And then this is when we see Jeff Darlington's video of him getting walked to the police car saying, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then Jeff Darlington's video is recording the situation. And remember, that cop comes up to Jeff Darlington as he's recording. Yeah, and the cop goes, well, he's going to jail and ain't shit you can do about it. To the Jeff Darlington. Jeff Darlington's like, I'm a media member here. I'm a media. Oh, okay. So we understand that tensions are high. There was a very serious traffic incident that took place near there. But boy, from what we were told happened in a police report, which I think if you lie in is also, a pretty damning situation, to what we just saw and what we expected out of it. I mean, come on, man. Like, we're in a time where people are allowed to just use common sense, I think. And if not, we have to get back to a time where people can just use common sense and go like, nah, yeah, we're all moving on here. Yeah. The cop doesn't. Now, the cop certainly is going to be embarrassed by the whole world. Hopefully.
Yeah, forever.
That's hopefully what's that. He needs to get better. Okay, Scottie, you need to get better whenever somebody's running next to you at 6:01 a.m. in the dark while it's raining with lights everywhere and you're turning in, and he tries to hit your windshield. Maybe you stop a little bit nicer so you can catch his body on your car.
Yep.
Because he is chasing you down. But can we not? This is tough. This is a tough look for the Louisville as a whole here, I think.
Look how fast Scottie's going. I remember Jeff Darlington said multiple times the morning of the event when they brought him up to the desk. He said the cop attached himself to Scottie's car multiple times, or latched or attached himself. He kept saying that. I'm like, wait, why was Scottie driving 400 miles an hour, right outside the gate? No, Scottie was creeping along, turning into the gate of the golf course in a marked courtesy car, and the guy jumped. You could see the guy was pissed early on and jumped. Did he hit his car with his flashlight, or was that his arm?
I think it was his arm. I don't know, but could you imagine?
Probably.
Bashes in Scottie Scheffler's windshield?
That'll make you jump. That'll make me jump, hit the brakes or the gas. Like, I'm glad Scottie didn't react, and all of a sudden hit the gas and take off.
Imagine that thing shatters.
Oh, man.
And then Scottie gets dragged out.
Yeah, glass on his face.
Now, I know there's a lot of people watching there like, you should see what happened to me. I wish there was a camera on a telephone pole across the street from my situation. And I think as the years roll on and as we see more and more, which is why the body cam became such an important part of this thing, so that some people who have been telling these stories for years that have never been believed by people who have no idea or no interactions in these particular situations could find out, there are some cops that aren't necessarily by the book, that aren't necessarily here to protect and serve. There are some cops who potentially have an axe to grind with society because of how things worked out for them before they became a cop. Not all cops. We're not saying that. And that has to be remembered on both sides. Hey, there's a lot of people that in our comments, whenever we first mentioned about the high horsing that was happening down there, that just say people say fuck cops. And it's we have friends that are cops that legitimately are just looking to help society. That is what they sign up for. It is an incredibly dangerous job. You have no idea if you're going to return. You watch a couple of those live PD episodes, even the most easy, convenient looking traffic stop can turn into a war zone literally out of nowhere. Need cops. We're appreciative of cops. But these cops also exist. And these situations also happen. And hopefully with Scottie Scheffler being the number one golfer in the world, it can bring even more spotlight on it. And hopefully in the future, cops like this, allegedly from what we've seen and what we heard, are a little bit more scared to do this because they're going to get publicly killed like this guy is going to get, I would assume, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, so I watched the press conference they had down there, and why did they say multiple times that they don't have any video of the initial interaction between Scottie and the cop? They just mean they don't have body cam footage, but we have that. Didn't they put that out?
Yeah, so I would assume, this is just from watching Dateline documentaries.
Okay.
Anytime anything happens, right, they scan the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, was your Ring camera on at this time? We need the footage. So I would assume that the Louisville police and detectives, because this is a felony against a cop, So I assume they looked into this and they scanned where the cameras were and they found this one on telephone pole. I would assume that is the case, just from the documentaries that we watched. Now, the initial thing was here where Scottie has said, and we know Scottie Scheffler to be a massive liar.
Start to finish, he has.
That's what he is. Scottie Scheffler.
Oh, yeah.
Massive liar. He said, I thought I was just following the directions that I was told. Like, he said that numerous times. Like, I thought I was doing what I was told. So what I'm assuming is when he's here, there's a conversation, whether it's with the guy that chased him down or the guy that chased him down is maybe next to the person that had it, where they go, yeah, it's Scottie Scheffler.
Oh, he's playing.
Yeah, you're Scottie.
Yeah, go
He
ahead.
was going 100 miles an hour there.
Yeah, a little too fast.
Wait, how come
He did not get
How come they
dragged,
didn't
unfortunately.
release the body cam footage?
What's that?
How come they didn't release the body cam footage?
Well, that's,
Well, and that's the problem. Like, because they lied about all
there's
those
a lot of
things.
cops there, isn't there?
A lot of cops, yeah.
There was like 3 that come in here at the end.
Yep.
So everybody's body cam and audio is off?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're liars now. No matter what, all those things in the police report are a lie, and now you can just assume. At least I assume now immediately. Like, oh, okay, so everything that this police department has said is complete bullshit.
See, that's the problem.
But no. In this situation,
In this-
I'm not
okay.
saying like everything forever.
But
I'm saying in
also-
this situation, and yes, then it opens the door to well,
Right.
okay, what else could possibly have gone awry in the past where situations like this might have been handled, but it wasn't Scottie Scheffler, so it wasn't as big of a deal and kind of gets swept under the rug.
Yeah, it's
Are there other reports from other cops that detail him getting dragged, like, or is it just that cop's report?
I think it's just that cop's report, or maybe it was the other person that came in there. That I guess I shouldn't be answering things that I don't know, but I did see a bunch of other cops shaking Scottie's hand, you know, going like, yeah.
Good luck today.
Yeah.
If you get there.
And like after I got my public intoxication situation, you know, there was some cops that maybe you're hanging out with at an event, having a couple beers, and they all seemingly came up like it was just you got the one guy,
Yeah.
and then they walk away, and I'm like, well, thanks.
For hiring that guy.
What are the odds?
Yeah, of course. And when I got pulled over in Ohio, going on 70, like a week later or whatever, you know, the cops were like, if you're a Buckeye, we just drove you home. Thanks. Where were you? I'd assume there's a lot of people on the Louisville Police Department that are incredibly embarrassed.
Absolutely.
By everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And the longer this goes, this is like how the Colts felt whenever they were doing the New England Patriots Deflategate, when the Colts were like, yo, can we shut this down? Every time it gets brought up, we get reminded we lost by 30 in the AFC Championship game, or we got killed in the AFC Championship game. Nobody's fault, obviously, the entire team's fault. I'm not saying one person took blame, but every time that Deflategate thing that went on for 2.5 years was brought up, it was like, doesn't matter, that Colts team got killed. It's like, can we just move on?
Yeah.
Every other police department member down there is like, can we...
Why don't they drop the charges now? What are we doing?
Well, the mayor coming out and being like, nah, we're going to continue with it. Makes me wonder, okay? Mayor from New York, graduated from Harvard Law, went to Michigan, then graduated from Harvard Law. Also, one of the owners of Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW.
Okay.
What? Buzz Backlin's promotion?
Yeah, Buzz Backlund. So obviously,
Whoa.
we did a little research on the mayor this morning to learn about him, to try to see, you know, which way this could potentially go, if anything he's done in the past. You know, and he's kind of followed through his read, like, ooh, maybe. And then you find out he owns OVW and Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is the school or the promotion down there in Louisville that used to be like the actual NXT, pretty much what is now for the WWE. You're talking John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Batista, Shelton Benjamin went through down there, trained down there. Did I say Randy Orton already?
No.
Randy Orton down there. Yeah, like everybody basically went through OVW. Then as the wrestling business changed, it's still around, still doing promotion, but it's not necessarily the this guy has bought it now, and the mayor is part owner of OVW. So then you start thinking to yourself, like, all right, so does he want this process to go, like, what's his relationship like with the police department?
Yeah.
Like, does the mayor and the police department get along? Because there's some cities where I think we've heard that they are not necessarily on the same page for whatever reason, but whatever the necessary reason is. So then you think to yourself, this guy is in the wrestling business. If he doesn't get along with the police department, I wonder if he's like, yeah, we want to, every video we got, we would like, let's go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just like a wrestling angle, me thinking, but he owns a wrestling promotion. So I don't know if it's the right one or if he is trying to show respect to the police of his police department and saying, I believe in my guys. I trust my guys. This way, you know, so it can go like so many different ways. But nonetheless, the mayor said, yeah, we're running with this thing.
But he made those comments this morning before these videos had come out too. Like, I wonder
He
if,
had to have seen these videos, right?
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, like, after this, anyone who is sane or no one is looking at this and being like, well, yeah, Scottie Scheffler was still in the wrong. Like, you'd think that the immense amount of public pressure, because if they don't drop it, like, they're just going to kill. They're going to continue to kill the police department, that guy, and everything associated with this situation, because it's pretty cut and dry. It looks like he didn't do anything wrong.
I think he's even using a turn signal.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Blinkers on.
I think he's even using a turn
probably.
signal. It's like
Seatbelt on. So, yeah, Scottie was doing everything. I guess what the cop can say, you can't see what happened behind the buses first, right before he turned in. But I'm sure, the attorney's already said, hey, good luck. We're going to trial if this doesn't get dropped.
Yeah, the Scottie Scheffler side has said this is either getting dropped or we will fight this. There's no deal being negotiated here. And remember that attorney goes from bearded, disheveled to clean face.
Yeah.
In one tournament day. This case has changed this man.
It's changed.
So did Scottie also, shaved because he's, got to be in front of a judge.
Did he really?
Yeah. Did someone send that in? This is Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah, D-Bud sent that in. Yeah, it's not good.
Clean shaven on the course yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be in front of a judge, you have to.
No, you don't. I kept my hair. Everybody was telling me, like, yeah, I was wrong, but also, like, I'm just going to slick this thing back tight. It's going to look professional. Okay, let's just move along.
Well, how about a countersuit then? And sue them for damages, because we know he's not the same golfer without
Future
the beard.
earnings.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could.
Psychological.
Anyways, the more things that come out, Foreplay Podcast just posted a video from Flushing It Golf, which is a United Kingdom news site. This is another angle of Scottie turning.
God, why is he driving so fast?
Yep. So I was trying to figure out whether or not he had.
Rewind it.
Go back.
Yeah, go back. Yeah, here it is. Does he have his turn signal on? He's going to, on the far side of that bus on the left side of the screen, he'll be turning left here coming on. Does the turn signal on? I thought
I didn't. From the other angle, I did not see it.
Yeah, if he didn't have his turn signal on, add that on.
That could be.
Yep, could see that.
You know what I mean? Add that
felony.
district attorney needs to add that on. So I would assume there's going to be more and more. And then Scottie's like, wow, I'm going to jail. What the fuck?
I think I'll make my tee time. Like, he's going under 5 miles an hour, you would say, right? In that turn?
Yep.
And he seemingly stopped within 2 feet of that guy.
Getting dragged.
Trying to shatter his.
That had to shock. Imagine Scottie driving, just turned in, all of a sudden, bam, he hears the dude blast his windshield. That had to jolt him for a little bit.
6 a.m. 6:01 a.m. Little rainy.
Yeah.
Major championship.
Major, yeah. Hold on. He's won 4 out of that. Just had a baby. Just had a baby. And then you got a yellow jacket. Boom.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the guy rolled down your window and the guy reaches into his car at one point. I don't know if he's trying to turn a car, put it in park, trying to turn, and then he gets him out. It's like Scottie had to be so. And then he goes and shoots 5 under.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll continue to update everybody as more videos come out. We had an incredible opportunity earlier to chit chat with one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. Actually, the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year over Paul Skeens.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, our convo with Shota Imanaga and
Edwin Stanberry.
Bingo. Ohio, gentlemen, domo arigato for joining us on this glorious morning. Obviously, talking to Shota Imanaga and Edwin Stanberry here, translator for Shota. Edwin, listen, when I ask these questions, I'm gonna need good juice on them. Okay, I'm gonna need good energy. Okay, let's make sure you and me are dancing here. Yeah.
質問答えるときはもうすごいエネルギーを上げてくださいっていう。
Okay.
Shota, this son of a bitch better not mess this up. You know what, Edwin? Please, tell him.
僕がこれを台無しにしないように頑張ってくださいって言ってます。
僕が
僕が。
Okay.
Understand.
Okay, Edwin, can you please ask Shota? He's had so much success so quickly, and obviously he's 30 years old. He's considered a rookie here in the MLB, but he's played professionally for so long. Why does he think that he's had so much success so quickly here in the MLB? It's like historic, better than anybody in history.
30歳でルーキーでこっちに来て、もう短い時間ですごい最高な成績を残してるんですけど、それ、すごい歴史的なんで、その理由とは何だと？
自分でもこの成績には少し驚いてる部分があるので、なんか自分でもわからない部分の方が正直多いです。
if I'm being honest, I'm pretty surprised of the results I've had so far, so I really can't answer that.
Edwin, you got to get these. Edwin, we need you to.
Come on.
Edwin, this one's on you. You tell me.
僕がそれのその答えを今永さんから出せないですけど。
.84 ERA. It is actually the lowest in the history of baseball for a starter for their first 9 games or whatever. Throws fastball 60% of the time, splitter another 30% of the time, and obviously the changeup is the conversation piece. Does he have more pitches, or is this? Has he refined his toolbox at this point of his career?
今のとこ防御率は。最初の9登板って一番歴史の中で低いらしいんですけど、その中でやっぱりストレート 60% とか、チェンジアップとかあるんですけど、それ以外の球種とかもあるんですか？まだ投げてないやつで。
そうですね。例えば今の統計が通用しなくなった時に、こういうふうにやりたいなっていう、そういう球種はありますね。
Yeah, so I have a couple pitches that I haven't thrown yet that, when the situation does come up that I need them, then I can pull them out.
Oh, we like that. Wow. Tell them we like that. We like that.
それは最高ですって言ってます。
Oh, thank you.
Domo. He bows to the umpire every single time he gets a new ball. It's like a head. Is that just a thank you? Has he done that his entire baseball career? Is that standard operating procedure in Japan? Is that because he doesn't want to speak English to the umpire because he ultimately hates him? Why do you think that is the case? And is he the nicest guy of all time?
審判にボールもらうためにお辞儀してるんですよ。それは日本でやってたのか、日本ではそれが普通なのか、ただ単に審判が嫌いで話したくないからお辞儀してるのかって、理由は何なんですか？
でも日本では帽子を取って相手にお辞儀をするっていうのが一つの礼儀としてる伝統があるということと、あとはその礼を学んで、成長してきたんでプロ野球でもやっていたっていうのと、あとは審判の人は決して嫌いではないです。
So it's something in Japan where you take off your hat, you bow. That's just tradition to show respect. So it's something I've been doing since I was playing over there in pro ball. But doesn't mean that I don't like the umpire at all.
Okay, Edwin, that was a great question, by the way. Good work. That was good delivery. You got a pop out of Shota. You got a good pop out of Shota. Yeah, compliment yourself.
帽子取りたいんですけど、帽子をわざわざ取ってると、多分毎球ピッチクロックバイオレーション取られちゃうんで、帽子までは取れないです。
So I want to take off the hat every time, but if I do, it's going to take a lot of time, and it might end up being a pitch clock violation. So I just do the bow.
Okay, hey, great, Edwin. Hitting a home run right now, Edwin, which not a lot of people have been able to do, obviously, against Shota. Yeah, compliment yourself. Yep, that's smart. That's good. I had the incredible fortune and luck, I would say, to get asked to go to Japan for a USO tour. We went to a bunch of different cities, and it is a vastly different operating culture than the United States of America. How has it been getting into the great city of Chicago, and what are the biggest differences for Shota?
日本にも行ったことあるらしくて、行った時にいろんな街を訪れて、すごい違う環境だなって感じたらしいんですけど、今田さんこっちシカゴに来て、その環境とかどんな感じですか？どういうふうに慣れてきました？
シカゴは日本人にやっぱゆかりのある場所も多いですし、日本食のスーパーだったりとか日本食レストランも多いので、外国に来たっていうよりかは、日本にいる時と同じようなそういった同じような気持ちで過ごせてます。
So in Chicago, there's a lot of Japanese supermarkets. There's a lot of restaurants that serve Japanese food. So it doesn't really feel like going to a different country. It just feels like something I'm familiar with.
I feel like you left out a few things there, but it's all right. Hey, that was good. Hey, that was great, Edwin. You did fantastic. Ty Schmidt has a question. Edwin, now his tone's a little bit different than mine. Let's make sure we're capturing the delivery of all this. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Edwin, can you ask Shota, does he attack hitters in the MLB differently than he did in Japan? And I know he started in the World Baseball Classic Championship game against the U.S. Like, how acutely aware of like the different hitters and great players is he over here? Like, obviously there's scouting and stuff like that, but how aware if he was of the really good hitters in the MLB that he'd have to be facing every single day, once he came over here?
WBC でもアメリカと対戦したと思うんですけど、その時と、今比べてアメリカのバッターに対して、その戦略とかやっぱり日本のプロ野球のバッターとまず違うんですかと、その日本にいた時も、アメリカのバッターとの名前とか知ってたんですか？
Way to nail it, Edwin.
Let's go, Edwin.
Way to go.
戦略はやはり日本のバッターの、打ち方とこっちのバッターの打ち方っていうのは少し違うので、戦略は少し変えないといけないなと思って、それに適応できるように頑張ってきたっていうのと、でもそのアメリカ代表の戦った選手の中は本当にもう見たことあるなとか、ワールドシリーズで打ってた選手だとか、そういう気持ちで見てました。
Yeah, so like the guys I faced during the WBC, like, I could recognize them, and then like, guys that are in the World Series, like those hitters, yeah, I recognize. In terms of attacking the hitters, it is a little different. The way the MLB players swing and the way the Japanese players swing, they're different. So I've just been getting adjusted to that.
What is the difference? We're
違うそのスイングの違い。
こちらのバッターはやはりインコースの本当に厳しいところもシングルではなくやはりホームランにもしてしまうような力があるので、そこはもちろん日本にもそういう選手は数名いるんですけども、こちらのバッターやっぱり1番から9番までそういうバッターがいるっていうのは、驚きでした。
So specifically like on the inside pitch, instead of being like a base hit, they'll hit it for like extra bases, so like a double, a home run. There are hitters like that in Japan, but over here that's really just 1 through 9. It's the whole lineup. So I was very surprised with that.
Okay, well, he's doing A-okay. Against 1 through 9, 10 through 50 if he needed to.
全然余裕で頑張ってますって。大丈夫です。
Sometimes.
No, all the time. How much English does he know? How much English do you know?
どれだけ英語わかります？
早口で言われると、ちょっと難しいんですけども、場面とかシチュエーションに限れば、これ言いたいんだな、だからこう答えた方がいいなっていうのは、英語が分かってなくてもこう答えた方がいいなっていうのは分かります。
So if somebody's speaking too fast, it's a little hard to pick up. But, depending on the situation, I understand like what I want to say.
Why did you wait until you were 30 to come to the MLB?
なぜ30まで待ってるのか。それはやはり日本のシステムのタイミングと、あと自分が自信を持てるタイミングと、やはりメリットとデメリットがやはりあるので、そのタイミングが、この、30歳が、ルーキーイヤーとなったタイミングですね。
So with the transition from Japanese baseball to MLB, that whole system, based on the timing of it, it matched up for the age of 30, along with just having more confidence and like just those things, having like the pros and cons, looking at that and just the timing of everything, it just worked out to be when I'm 30.
Okay, well, we're happy you're here. We would have loved to see you for the last 10 years or so, just slicing and dicing up these strike zones. Tone Diggs has a question for you. He's wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah, Shota, I know you are. I know there's McDo in Japan, but since you've been in the U.S., have you had a favorite American meal that you didn't have in Japan?
Yeah, nice fat meal. American.
日本で食べたことないアメリカの食事で、こっち来てからなんか好きになった食事とかあります？
Fat, Edwin, fat.
ちょっとなんか太りやすい食べ物とか。
タコスってことこっちのものじゃないか。
タコスはまあ
メキシコ、
メキシコ、アメリカ、まあこの感じ。
まあタコスはやはりこっちに来てすごく美味しい食べ物だなと思いました。
So I would say tacos. Like I came over here and tried it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really good."
Hell yeah! How about pizza? We have pizza already. Has you tried pizza? Chicago style is terrible.
シカゴピザ、
シカゴの役だって今言いましたよ。
一度食べたことありますし、まあそのレストランで1枚出たんですけども、本当に2枚目にまでが手が伸びなかったんです。
1枚のその中
ピースで1ピース食べて2ピース目まではいけるほどのお腹でなかった。
So I tried pizza here. I went to a restaurant. I ordered a whole pizza, and it was so big. I ate one. I couldn't get the second piece.
Yeah, that's Chicago. Tell him he needs to try like New York style or thin crust. Tell him Chicago thin crust pizza is very, very good.
シカゴの薄いピザなんですけど、まあそれを試した方がいい。それはすごい美味しいです。
Okay.
Yeah.
Connor has a question for you. Go ahead. What'd you say? I'm sorry, I stepped on. I think you're saying English again.
I tried.
Hi. Yeah, we love that. Hi is yes, right?
Yeah.
And Ohio is good morning. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Yes.
Domo is the quick way to say thank you.
どうも。
どうも。
ありがとう。
まあどうもありがとう。
どうもだけでもいけます。
ちょっと意味が変わってくる。なんかどうもまあいける時があります。
Yeah, you can use it in certain situations.
So like domo for joining us. Can I say that?
これに加わってくれてどうもって言えます。
どうもありがとうの方がなんか文としては成立します。
Probably どうもありがとう is it'll fit the line better.
All right, we'll remember that. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah. Shota, what do you do in your free time? Obviously, when you're only pitching, once a week usually, then, there's a lot of stuff to do. Do you play video games? Is there any, clubhouse playing darts or cards or anything? Or is it mostly just baseball 24/7 for you?
1週間に1回の登板なんで、まあ暇な時間で何してるの？例えばまあテレビゲームやるとか、そのクラブハウスの中でダーツとかやるとか、まあそれとももう24時間もきっちり野球やってる。
Baby Edwin.
そうだな、暇な時は YouTube とか主に見てますね。日本の YouTube ですけど、はい。
Usually I'll be watching Japanese YouTube.
What is that? Is that music? Is that game show? Is that because we've seen the Japanese game shows? I think we've seen a lot of that.
まあ YouTube で、まあその何を見てるんですか？なんか音楽とかを見たり、まあゲームなんかテレビ番組あるじゃないですか、そういう楽しいゲーム、ああいうの見たりしてるんですか？から見たことあります。
まあアメリカに来て私服で移動することが多くて、ですごいチームメイトとかおしゃれな革靴を履いてたりするので、僕も革靴を買ってその同じブランドの革靴の動画を見たりとか、あとはその海外の人なんですけど、ボロボロになった革靴を修理するみたいな動画を見てます。
So coming over to the U.S., I've realized a lot of players they'll travel and like casual attire. So I've been looking into like clothing, a lot of like leather shoes, and then I'll watch a lot of videos where they have the worn leather shoes and it's like a restoration video.
I like that.
Nice.
Just regular ass dude.
Yeah.
How's the relationship with the teammates here? How's the relationship with the teammates in the United States? Because I know obviously there's a lot in Latin America, Spanish speaking. Obviously we have English speaking and Japanese. Obviously has a bigger presence in locker rooms. But how is the relationship with the locker room?
まあこっちに来たからそのクラブハウスの中での他の選手の関係ってどうですか？まあラテン系の選手も多いですし、まあ英語のアメリカ人の選手も多いですし、まあ日本人の選手もいますけど、まあクラブハウスの中での他の選手の関係はどうですか？
そうですね。まあみんな本当に挨拶をしたら、こう挨拶だけじゃなくて一言二言、声をかけてくれますし。まあこうラテン系の選手なんかすごく、まあ明るい選手もたくさんいるので、僕と彼らならではのコミュニケーションを取ったりとかしているので、まあすごく、 僕としては毎日ここに来るのが楽しみです。
So I've enjoyed coming into the clubhouse every day. Just talking to, the players. It's not just, what's up? How are you doing? We'll go into a little deeper conversation every time. And especially, with the Latin players, they're really easy to talk to. And so I've enjoyed, everybody in the clubhouse.
That's all. Ask him what he would throw me and ask him how far I'd fucking hit that thing.
彼がこういうバッティングしてたら、まず何の球種投げますかと、そしたら俺はもうとんでもないところに打つぞって言ってます。
この考え方ってことですか？まあスイングを見てないのでちょっとわからないんですけども、まあとりあえずちょっと顔付近に投げて威嚇しようかなと思います。
That's so
I
funny.
haven't seen you swing yet, so I can't really say, but I'll probably go fastball kind of near the face. This is scary.
I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I'm charging.
でもデッドボールじゃないので、ただのボール球です。
It'll be a ball. It's not going to be a hit by pitch.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks just for scaring me here. Last question. We appreciate you guys so much time. Go ahead, Ty.
Shota, have you asked for advice or spoken to any of the guys who have made the jump from Japan to the major leagues, like Masahiro Tanaka? Obviously, everything with Shohei right now. Do you have any kind of relationship with those guys, and have you talked to them at all about how to navigate playing in the MLB?
日本からアメリカに来た選手で、例えば田中選手とか、大谷選手とか、そういう選手になんかアドバイスとか聞いたりしましたか？その日本からこっち来た選手との関係とかはどうですか？
ポスティングの際にはダルビッシュさんに連絡をさせてもらって、
ポスティングの後、
ポスティングの、前後で、で、アメリカってどういう環境ですか？この街はどんな街ですか？っていうのを聞いたりして、でカブスに決まった後は鈴木選手に連絡を取ってシカゴの街の様子だったりとかカブスというチームがどんなチームなのかっていうのを聞いてすごく参考になってます。
So I talked to Yu Darvish, before and after making the transition. I'm just kind of saying, how the cities, just life in the U.S. And then once I was with the Cubs, I contacted Seiya Suzuki, kind of the same thing, how Chicago, how's the lifestyle around the city, like just stuff like that.
Okay, and last question for you, Edwin. Obviously, everything that happened with Shohei, right, with the translator, like for you, that's obviously not cool to happen, especially because I assume everybody in your position now is getting asked the same question about, like, do you understand the power that you have for somebody that you are the eyes, ears, and mouth for in situations? Has that been a part of any conversations between you guys and how you kind of go about your business?
I would say not really. I mean, this is my first year, so, like, everything's really new to me. And so it's just really been kind of, getting to know Shota since spring training. And, honestly, like, my job is to make his life easier. So just kind of been working on that.
Well, hey, Edwin, I think you did a great job today.
Hell yeah.
You're a tag team partner for Shota, who's doing amazing things. And we can't wait to watch you guys continue to ascend. Thank you for the time, Shota.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, domo arigato to, right? Yeah, right, we did it right there?
Yeah,
there we go. Yep, perfect.
How do I say good luck in Japanese?
幸運って日本語で。
幸運を。
幸運語幸運を。
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ka-un the rest of the way. We appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Shota, Imanaga, Edwin Stanberry.
Thank you.
Hey, oh, go back. Hey.
Oh, you still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Domo arigato, boys. All right, cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Man, I'll tell you what, I had a blast in there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's a cool crew right there.
Awesome.
Hey, Edwin, how about Edwin? Now, Shota, obviously,
How about it?
incredible. How about Edwin, dude?
Crushed.
First year. He said he just joined him in spring training. He gets thrown into the fire right there. He did a great job. He really did.
I think so, too. And it's his first year, and the Ippei Mitsuhara situation's unfolding right in front of our eyes. And it's like, hey, translator, let's
That baby Edwin, when he would deliver a good question, that baby Edwin kept pumping him up.
Well, whenever I hear, whenever he had a little juice, because that was I don't want to say I was fist fought one of the translators at the MLS thing, but this guy just had no juice. And it was like, hey, bud, of course we're not getting an answer.
Yeah. Right.
Of course, like whatever I don't even know. I can't understand what you're saying, but the way you're delivering it we need to
pump it up.
We need to pick this thing up. We need to let them know this isn't a job right now. We're having a conversation. Okay, they're excited to be here. Edwin, hey, Edwin, you're what the translating world needs right now.
That's right. Amen.
We think. We don't know. We think. We don't know.
From what we know.
From what we know at this exact time.
Yeah. Right now.
And that Shota guy's for real. I don't know how many people know about the Chicago Cubs or anything. I think they're second in the
NL Central.
Bingo, which I knew that. And he's second in the NL for Cy Young odds, I think, which is the best pitcher in the entire National League. He's a rookie. He's the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year in the MLB. And his ERA is .84, which I guess is bananas.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Pretty good.
And he's fun.
Yeah.
He almost threw you a pitch when you got the bat. You had the bat in your shoulder. I thought he was going to throw you one.
So Edwin was talking, and he was not paying attention to what Edwin was saying. And as Edwin was talking, I was standing there. I mean, he started I was like, oh, yeah. And I wasn't really paying attention to what Edwin was saying either. I felt like I was in the batter's box with Shota Imanaga right there.
Basically were.
Hey, this is what you're seeing right now, pal. I did that to, I think I did the Skeens.
CC?
Yep.
CC, I think I did to CC. We need to do an off-season.
Yes.
Whenever they're working, because they have a set schedule, right? So, we got to show up at their practice, whoever is, and all right, let's go.
Probably
Paul
show some spring
Skeens.
training.
Let's go. Yeah, maybe even spring training where they're all near each other, right?
Yeah.
Paul Skeens, and then the next day, Shota Imanaga. Could you?
Oh, those spring training locations, too, aren't too shabby either.
Oh, Arizona and Florida, right?
Yep.
I would have maybe 60 straight strikeouts. Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
I want to wear hockey goalie pads, too, if I'm standing in the batter's box with them.
Yeah. Maybe the big boss is the big unit.
Could you? Yeah, Randy Johnson is keeping track.
Final boss.
Boom. He's at 60 straight strikeouts would be the best video of all. Hey, I want you to pitch like I'm a
like I'm Aaron Judge.
Like I'm a fucking guy right now. Bring it to me. I would like to see what it's like just for a second. The amount of times I would.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Knee buckle.
Fall down. Yeah, he'd fall down on strikes for sure.
All right, shout out to the baseball's getting better. Baseball's getting more entertaining in my eyes. And that might be because Q Country Roads, Paul Skeens is in it. Let's go to the NBA. Western Conference Finals tipped off last night as the Dallas Mavericks steal one in Minnesota by a dominant display of Kyrie Irving in the first half, Luka Doncic in the second half. And Minnesota Timberwolves team is now not only a fan favorite, but up against it to make it to the finals to take on the Pacers when they inevitably knock off the Celtics game 2 this evening.
Okay.
Celtics are up 1-0.
Yep.
Joining us now is a guy who played high school basketball with LeBron James.
Yep.
Is a man who's covered the NBA forever. A dude who has a massive brain and a massive heart. We got to meet him at the last game in Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Windy.
Yeah, Windy!
How you doing, pal?
I learned a lot about you that night, Pat. First off, Mr. Hawk, as always, sir.
Great to see you.
You know, we were having a good time. Everything was going good. Your boys were in there. I was hanging out with them. And then you found out that the Bruins, in heartbreaking fashion, lost at the end of the game. Now, listen, I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know how many people are on the ice at once. If you want my honest opinion, if you gave me a multiple choice,
I'd basketball. Had a goalie.
Exactly. If you say so. You pull up, not even on text, you pull up Boston Connor on FaceTime, not to commiserate with him, but to ride him and give him crap after he was at the game, just watched his team lose. And I was like, okay, I understand how these guys operate. I learned all about you guys.
Yeah, well, you fit right in, it seemed like, and we appreciate you stopping by. Everybody enjoyed your presence. I know you got cornered a couple times for some 10 to 15-minute basketball conversations by different people at different times.
Bruce.
Thank you for being Bruce.
Come
and
on.
Mitt. And Mitt.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So sorry, Wendy.
Yeah, Mitt had a full-on LeBron, so, conversation.
You can't let
The
that
last
happen.
book I
It was
read
awesome.
was yours, Wendy.
I almost got in big trouble because, I was the only guy. Now in the conference finals, ESPN has 15 people at these games, but I was the only ESPN reporter in Indy. Okay, And like I was up there, spent some time with you guys, and like Jalen Brunson like left the floor for a minute, and like I was going to be responsible for like what is his injury. You better go get some reporting on his injury. What was I supposed to say? Like, luckily he came right back out. I think he just like went to the bathroom or something. But like,
Jalen's a dog.
What was I supposed to say?
Well, Josh Hart, didn't something happen with Josh Hart while you're up there too? I think.
Oh, was it Josh Hart? Josh Hart.
Yeah,
you're right. He hurt his like chest or something.
Abdomen. It was an abdomen thing, and because I think Bruce was so drunk. And,
oh, really?
I mean, hilarious.
I didn't see that one coming.
Obviously, very passionate. But he like turned around and he goes, Josh Hart to Wendy. And Wendy
bummed out.
Yeah, and Wendy immediately goes, oh, it's an abdomen. Like he had an answer. And then I looked up and I'm like, when is this? This is happening right now. And I'd been talking to you for 10 minutes. So I had no idea how
that stress had already passed by that time. I was like concerned that I might have to like go explain why I was late filing a report. Why were you late? I was in Pat McAfee's suite. And what was I going to say? Was I going to say I was in the bathroom? Was I going to say I was
dumps?
Yeah, what was I going to do?
Well, you could say you're taking a dump. I mean, people would understand. Everybody dumps, Wendy. Everybody dumps, Wendy. People were saying you look tighter than me in that photo, which I appreciate because normally I am the one.
I got the heavy eyelids.
Yeah, me too.
Heavy eyelids.
Me too.
Amen.
Which you were. Well, I don't know whether you were sober, but you were lucid. And when I got pulled over for the first time when I was a teenager for expired plates, I was dead cold sober. I was coming home from work, and that cop was not believing that because I got the heavy eyelids.
Was it Louisville?
Akron, Ohio.
Okay, Akron, Ohio. Got it. Yeah, the expired plates. Can't have it. I mean, that is a spotlight.
Paperwork.
Yep. And there's
paperwork tough. Paperwork's tough for a teenager, man.
No, it's not only paperwork. It is that is a spotlight to pull your ass over.
Oh yeah.
And
I didn't like those eyelids.
We're gonna find out if everything in this car is good or not. And yeah, how open are your eyes, sir? I mean, that is have you in the last 24 hours potentially done anything? Oh, let's go ahead and take a look. So the plates always have to be up to date. That's one of my biggest fears, actually. Like, need to not be a distraction out here. Just need to get in and get out. You got in, gave us great information. Let's talk about getting in. Dallas Mavericks went in to Minnesota. They brought their ass to Minnesota and walk out with a massive win. How do you feel about the Western Conference? Kyrie Irving, Luka playing phenomenal basketball. Kyrie Irving afterwards on the set of Inside the NBA was very loose, happy, chatting, talking about his motivation of Ant calling him out. It just feels like the team vibes are very, very high as opposed to like 1 year ago whenever it was chatting about Luka didn't love the game maybe anymore and obviously everything that took place with Kyrie at his last stop. And why have we gotten to this point? And am I reading the situation right, Wendy?
Yeah, well, Luka was not down with them tanking at the end of last year. They tanked to avoid the playoffs to keep their draft pick, and Luka did not like that. And they ended up getting them this young center they've got, Derek Lively, who is excellent and perfect alongside him. And Luka has amended his position on that. I can't believe the Kyrie that I'm seeing right now. So, like, I started covering Kyrie when he came in the league in 2011. I was there not every day, but virtually every day when he was in his 3 years with LeBron. And he was not down with sort of being the LeBron co-star. Like, I'm not saying that there weren't individual nights or individual moments where they were down together, and obviously they won a title together, and that was huge, the highest moment of his career, but he wasn't down for it. And then he went to Boston, and he didn't like that grouping. And then he went and got his handpicked, not sidekick, but his handpicked co-star, his handpicked other franchise player in Kevin Durant. And that didn't work out for various reasons. At the end of the day, Durant pulled the plug on that before Kyrie could pull the plug. So for me to believe that this was going to work out with Luka Doncic after seeing all of those situations where he was in pretty awesome situations and it went sideways, and maybe not all his fault, but largely due to him, how could I possibly have expected that this was going to work? And so now, as I watch them play, and more importantly, as I listen to Kyrie talk and I listen to Luka talk, Kyrie is like genuinely, as far as I can tell, truly invested in Luka's success. He's truly gotten to a spot where he wants to do things that make Luka better. And I would love the real of how LeBron and Kevin Durant feel about seeing this Kyrie Irving. Now, granted, when he was with LeBron, he was like 24, 25. I can't compare that. And he's 32 now. And even when he was first got to Brooklyn, he was like 29. He is just than a different guy. And so last night is a perfect example of this. Last night, they come into the game. The Mavericks game plan is, all right, Luka is battling this knee. He looked a little bit tired at some of the end of these Oklahoma City Thunder series games. We're going to try to give him a little bit of a less of a workload at the beginning of the game, and we're going to try to save him for the fourth quarter. And so Kyrie comes in there. Also, jittery building last night, all right? Western Conference Finals haven't been played in Minnesota in 20 years. Like when they, on the pregame warm-ups, right, they're going through their normal routine with all the fireworks, whatever, the smoke. And as soon as they put Western Conference Finals on the scoreboard, the crowd like even gasped because the crowd was like pinching themselves like, oh my God, I can't believe that Chuck and Kenny and Shaq are here in the building. I can't believe it says Western Conference Finals on that scoreboard. Everybody was a little bit on edge, and Kyrie was like, don't worry. And he took the ball, and he's like, listen, I'm going to go to work here. I'm going to calm everybody down, all right? And he scored like 19 points in the first quarter. I mean, Minnesota was actually hitting shots then. He calms everybody down. And then in the fourth quarter, at the agreed-upon time, when now it's going to be Luka time, Kyrie stands back and goes, Luka, go for it. And when the game ends, yeah, he gets to dance a little bit on Ant Edwards because, he went back at him with game, but he played a beautiful team-first, Luka-centric game plan in a road Western Conference Finals game. And it was amazing to watch. And I have to say, I got to take my hat off to him. I'm skeptical that it will last forever. And I've just filibustered here on your show. Thank you. But that was what I was watching last night.
No, I'm happy you got it all. Now, we missed the hard out for sure, which is on you, not on us. That will not go in the scorebooks, record books like that. But I do appreciate your take there. I think you broke it down wonderfully. And if I had to probably give a guess, not that I have anywhere near the same mindset as a human and as intelligent, and as driven and worldly a brain as Kyrie Irving has. I would assume he's.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I'm sorry. Go, sorry.
No.
Well,
no.
Applies to both.
Both of you. Yeah, both of you.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Worldly for sure. Wendy's going to cover the Olympics.
He was in France for Wemby when he got picked.
Yeah. You're right. Very worldly Wendy out of Omaha in Ohio.
That's right.
So, what I'm thinking is happening potentially to Kyrie is at this stage, Kyrie knows that people will talk about him as being, yes, great basketball. The kid's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Like, handles are filthy, better than everybody else's. The ability to create a shot, how smooth he is and everything. Like, that's just what everybody kind of standardly understands about Kyrie Irving's basketball game. Now, there's people that are going to never like Kyrie Irving because there's some shit that happens off the court. And, things that he is very passionate about. There's going to be people that feel that way. But on the court, even those people think to themselves, yeah, the things that Kyrie Irving could do with a basketball is fucking magical, which is why he is allowed to be as loud and have as many people get mad at him for things is because of how damn great he is at basketball. I wonder if there was a moment where it clicked for him that his legacy is good. I wonder if there was somebody that talked to him and said like, hey, this is how everybody feels about you. And then you're able to move on to like, okay, now I want to help the next one. And Luka is probably a guy who has the very same exact thoughts. Maybe not the handle, but why not? The way he plays basketball. So I'm very happy to hear that because if you got a guy who's an actual magician with a basketball on your team trying to make you great, that's going to help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Luka's got to love that, Wendy.
Yeah, so it could be a number of things. Number one, Jason Kidd, like this is a coach. Now, he had Tyronn
Point
Lue,
guard as well, right? Handles, point guard as well.
Yeah, and he had Tyronn Lue. But Jason Kidd, certainly there's a connection there. His agent, he switched to a new agent who's his stepmother, Shatilia. And I don't know what they're doing day to day, but Kyrie is in a special place, and he seems to have a good – so I think she gets some credit. Absolutely. Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Mavericks, he was an executive at Nike where Kyrie had a massive contract that basically got spoiled by the way he was doing stuff off the court in Brooklyn. That contract's over. He was making 8 figures a year on that deal.
He wouldn't get vaccinated.
It's over.
That was it.
But Nico Harrison, Luka, although I think everybody right now, and like, look, we're in the middle of a piece of art here. Like, we're not done. Like, he's got to finish it. But I think all those people, and more people that I probably don't even know, deserve credit for how he's turned it on, including himself, obviously.
Go ahead, AJ.
Wendy, Pacers Celtics tonight, game 2. Pacers feel like they let one slip away. Obviously, Coach Carlisle came on here and said too many turnovers, everything, but he was happy with how the guys fought. What do you expect tonight? What are you kind of looking for as the Pacers? 8.5-point dogs, which is a bit surprising to me.
Up to
what do you
9
think about
some
tonight?
places too, AJ.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so what I'll take away from that game, obviously, it was a devastating loss. And there's no other way. I could go on and on about it. I won't. That game was played as a Pacer game. That was a Pacer game. They played fast, high possessions. Everything about that game was an Indiana Pacers game, which is why they should have won it, which is why they were 99.5% or whatever to win it. They dictated the style of play. And that's exactly what happened in the Knicks series. Every single one of those games, even the games where the Knicks blew the Pacers out, were Pacer games. And if you're Boston, a team that is used to dominating games and dictating the pace and playing defense, you don't want to play Pacer games. You don't want to play these games where I think the Pacers got up 99 shots in that game. They had 22 turnovers and got up 99 shots. That's a Pacer game. If you keep playing Pacer games, the Pacers are going to win.
Hell yeah.
Now maybe they won't get to you in 7, but you can't keep playing Pacer games. I watched this happen to the Knicks. They started doing this. Okay, so to me, the big thing tonight is this going to be a Pacer game or is this going to be a Celtic game?
Pacer.
Because if it's a Pacer game, even if the Pacers lose,
It's a Pacer game.
that to me says a lot. Not just about whether the Pacers are going to win this series, but about how the Celtics are going forward. That's what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah, and it's a lot of this.
Up and down.
And if you're not ready, if you're running your first marathon here, Eastern Conference Final against this Pacers team since January,
Good luck.
I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. It really, and they pride themselves. Coach Carlisle was like, yeah, it takes a lot of commitment, he knows, they know that it's a lot. There was conversation about that, I think, last series with the Knicks when everybody was just playing like 48 minutes. They were like, there's no human would be able to just keep up with our pace if they're able to do it. That's why they have such a deep bench. They're like a defensive line. They are rotating and everybody's contributing, and their confidence, even after the devastating giveaway, I assume, is going to remain high. Now, Connor is on the side of hoping that is not the case. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, really hoping it's not. And Wendy, I think a lot of people don't think the Celtics are as deep as the Pacers, but once Porzingis comes back and then Horford goes to the bench, that does kind of equate what they rock with and what the Celtics have. But if it is a run and gun game, and you just mentioned, even if the Celtics win a run and gun game, that they will still view that as a win, at least you will, because of the fact that they're playing their basketball and they're not kind of being dictated by the Celtics. But if the Celtics do dictate the game and they do kind of figure out how to slow down the Pacers, do you see this kind of changing this series? Do you think that there's any way that the Pacers will say, like, okay, you know what? We've done this twice, run and gun. The first game is close. The second game is close, but we still haven't really been able to make any headway as far as winning the games? Or do you think that this is going to be, hey, who's going to have the best cardio for a 7-game series? And the Celtics, do you think that they will be able to kind of play that type of basketball? And how does their recovery kind of change? Because a lot of times, at least I think in the past, it hasn't been every other scheduled every other night. There had been a couple differences, but this year it feels like, hey, they're going every other night no matter what. The finals are set for June 6th. It's happening June 6th. How do you see that happening?
Yeah, I think the Pacers are going to pace. They're going to do what they do. And, the Pacers are a team of mistakes. What I mean by that is the way that they play, super fast, lots of passes all over the place.
390.
They're gonna make mistakes, but they're also going to have 125 possessions, and they're going to make successes. And so that's the way they're going to play. I don't think they're equipped to play any other way, but it also makes them resilient because they're used to making mistakes. Unfortunately, they made a couple mistakes in the last minute. But I actually respect the way they handle their business. I really have come to respect the Pacers after watching them in the in-season tournament, after watching them every night in this Celtics series. So the Celtics have got to Celtic, which is they're the number 1 or number 2 defensive team. They usually crush other teams in three-point shooting. The Pacers outshot them on threes the other night. I think that the Celtics might have had 2 more overall, but the Pacers outshot them in percentage. The Celtics win by firing a ton of threes and forcing stops and getting like that. That's the way they need to play. The Celtics can probably beat the Pacers playing high tempo over the course of a long series. But the more they do that, the more they open themselves up to problems. And every game this goes on, the more the Celtics open themselves up to problems because we know that the Celtics are prone to kicking games away.
Wendy,
amen.
You just said the Celtics can play Pacers basketball and beat
probably. They won 64 games there. I will say this.
Thank you, Wendy. Everyone's bitching about not being battle tested, and it's like, hey, why do we play 82 freaking games? Like, what's the point of playing 82 if when we get to the playoffs, everyone's gonna bitch as if that we didn't get tested?
Pacers are a different team in the playoffs.
I agree.
Different team.
Yeah, but they did win 64 games, and they're 9-2 in the postseason. I realize that they're not blowing teams out by 20 while riding a white stallion, but they are still doing fine. They're just not hitting the standard that people would like to see.
All right, Wendy. We appreciate you so much for joining us on this glorious Thursday. You were our first English-speaking guest in a while.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I appreciate it. I enjoyed every second of that interview, especially the deep bow. As somebody who's been in Japan, the deep bow is very important.
Very worldly.
Culture.
Very worldly.
Gave a lot of face. Gave them a lot of face with that bow.
Well, I didn't have a hat on, but I wanted to let them know if I did have a hat on, I would take the cap off, tip of the cap, and bow because of what just happened. We've gotten an update, I believe, from the organization. They said they enjoyed it.
Okay.
Thank you, Cubs.
Look at us.
That's huge.
Holy shit.
Go Cubs, go.
Look at the depth of our show.
Yeah.
We're talking in different languages. We're doing a fucking talk show in different languages.
A lot of different languages.
It's a talk show, Wendy. Like interview.
You've been known to speak French.
Oui.
You've had your French unpardoned many times.
Oh, oui, yeah. And tu es très intelligent, obviously. That's why you remember that and others don't. Wendy, where are you at right now? Are you in Boston?
Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was at the Western Conference Finals last night, and I'm covering this series. I said, can I avoid the Indy 500? No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't up to me. But I am in the Western Finals now. My Indy days until the finals. I'll come back for the finals. But
thanks.
In the West.
We had the pole sitter for the Indy 500 in here earlier. I think you would like him as a person, Wendy. I think Scott McLaughlin, you'd like him as a person. I know the hotel's too expensive and everything, but you would like Scott McLaughlin, I think, Wendy. Just like we all appreciate the hell out of you, man. You crush it for us every time you come on.
Thank you, sir.
You make us smarter.
You,
we appreciate you. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, have a great day.
Brian Windhorn.
Yeah, Wendy.
All right, and
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Before we move on, I wasn't there, but I thought we like Wendy, right?
Yeah.
And you guys just let Bruce and Mitt happen?
We were watching a game too. It was tough, you know. Like it was a good game. So, you know,
what happened exactly? What do you mean? What happened?
I chopped it up with them for a good half hour.
Thank you, Gumpy.
Yeah, I did.
Well, Gumpy was one of the people I was talking about.
Yeah, we were.
You can't. You know, once.
Well, Gumpy couldn't watch one game because there was a TV in the suite in the back that had the four-piece on it.
Yep.
So we had different sports on. So, you know, Gumpy's not able to just watch one sporting event.
Correct.
So he was in the back where Wendy was. So there was a lot of JJ Redick's producer came up and came through. No talking between those two about what JJ was doing. We actually heard that was potentially a kind of a thing about, like, you know, Wendy is a news person. He works for ESPN for a broadcast that JJ Redick is a part of.
Correct.
So, like, I think there's like a full trying to respect the process here. Like, JJ's got a call in Eastern, a big game as well. Like, and we're co-work. Like, so it was kind of it was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
It was because JJ Redick is the topic of conversation in, you know, one of the biggest organizations in all of sport, let alone just the NBA. And I'm sure, you know, JJ's not just trying to have his shit out on the street.
Yeah.
And Wendy, everything that he and JJ potentially talk about is like him wondering, can't help but wonder. You know, so they weren't able to catch up in the suite, but I wish that it would have been the same time. You know, that would have been a cool thing. And then what Wendy says after that. From my understanding.
First horse.
Yep.
He's awesome. He came in there and commanded the room. I'm telling you.
I'm not shocked.
I would assume so.
He said lucid too. What's he talking? I wasn't.
I mean, but that's Wendy football, baby.
Yeah, you're right. That is Wendy football. Wendy came in, described the room, took the place over, told stories for 45 minutes in there. I don't know. Did he dive into any of the food? The food was really cool there. They I'm not.
No.
What do you mean?
What it was really cool. News is I heard that.
Yeah, I knew that was a
wasn't.
good one.
It wasn't.
What was cool about it?
Huh?
What was cool about it?
Well, it's like they're looking out for us. So, like, you order a cookie tray, you get 3 cookies.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
That's really nice. 2 brownies.
How many people in the box? How many people?
I think it can fit 15 or 20 or something like that.
You chop them up a bunch, I guess, get like little quarter squares.
Bingo. They're looking out for us. Don't have too much. You know,
Mini Chips Ahoy.
That was a funny thing. I looked at it because I'm a sweets eater. That thing is ordered. You know,
that's what you want.
That is literally what So I go over to it. I go, oh, we got what, 3 cookies on this thing? What? How much? And then I go to the wife. How much are we? Sam, how much are we paying for this thing? And then she goes, I go, you see the cookies? She goes, what they do? Cheap. We go up there and we full judge now. You know, because the Colts with that suite, the food every week. You know, you got to order different stuff to see what's good and what's not good. There's some places that are running a racket.
Yeah,
you know, some arenas that are running a racket. I will say the Pacers chicken tenders are
top notch.
They need to be leading with that. Hey, you probably want 2 bins of these chicken tenders. Yeah. They were phenomenal. And then, you know, the people that work in the suites at the Pacers building, very good.
Okay.
Very, very active. I think they should be a little bit more authoritative whenever there's a comedian talking down there in a suite. Maybe he's just having their own conversation for an hour. Those people should come in and say, hey, why don't you guys shut the fuck up?
Forever.
But they're trying to be as hospitable as possible. So I would say.
They get a lot of practice. It's not like the Lucas Oil crew that gets, 8 games and then a couple concerts.
Lucas Oil crew's good. They're great.
I know, but
you're
I'm
talking about the food and everything.
But like the Game Bridge, I mean, you're getting
41
games, and then every concert that comes, that's almost every night.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of work. Gamebridge got an update, a full update.
It's very nice in there.
It is that place, it's a nice building.
It is.
It is.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, not only did we do an interview on ESPN TV with a man who doesn't speak a lot of English, now we're going to the other side of the world.
Okay.
Live from Saudi Arabia.
What?
The voice of the WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole.
Yeah,
Cole.
Yeah, hi, guys.
We're talking about the cookies at the Pacers game. I thank you for waiting, there a little bit.
Before we get into any of that, I'm a little perturbed.
Wow, good work.
First off, I'm not allowed to show up on ESPN.
What?
I get preempted by a guy that sits on a pole. By a baseball pitcher that you have no idea who he even is.
I know him not.
And then by a guy who comes onto my television show on Monday nights and steals the spotlight.
Oh, Patrick.
And Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. So today's a tough day for Michael Cole, but it gets better. You're in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Hey! Cool. I'm trying to get this stupid phone to work right, but it's all off. Anyway, I'm in Riyadh. I'm at the WWE Experience. We just had a big kickoff event here tonight. It was great. It was awesome. They love me here. They were chanting my name, Michael Cole, Michael Cole, Michael Cole, all night long.
Really?
I got my own security team. Jimmy Kelly's running security for me here, keeping me out of trouble.
Nice.
It's been great.
Hey, Cole, will you please tell Jim Kelly that the Rangers lost 3-0 last night in America, and also the Knicks lost to the Pacers? You bald dummy! You bald dummy!
Jimmy Kelly's so old, he didn't realize the Rangers game was even on when he got over here, and they got shut out. And the Pacers, come on. You guys are going to get swept by the Celtics. The Knicks had so many injuries. Full Knick team, we would have taken in 4. We'll see what happens next year. You got a crybaby coach. Wang, wang, wang. Let's do it for the big market team.
Did you hear you? Did you hear you at the beginning?
To Boston. Wang, wang, wang.
No, there was no wang, wang, wang from Coach Carlisle with the Boston. Did you hear at the beginning? If we weren't injured, we'd wang, 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 wang. That's all I hear. Just in more of abundance because it's a bigger city, which means there's more eyeballs on TV, which means there's potentially a little bit of bias, not only from sports media, but now the voice of the WWE. Wow. That's disgusting, Cole. But let's go back to what you do great, which is WWE. Logan! How are you, man?
Live on Pat's show.
Pat,
I love you, man.
Hey, I love you too.
It's working. Yeah, always.
Yeah, always. Hey, we just talked to...
Where you at, Pat?
Hey, I'm in Indianapolis. I'm always working too. Hey, Patrick Mahomes on earlier. He said he loved you. But he was given enough time to Jey Uso to get out of the way.
Man, I love Patrick Mahomes. I love everyone named Pat. Pats are great.
Bye, Logan. Have a good night. See ya. By the way, big news tonight. Logan Paul gave me his brass knuckles, and he vowed not to use them against Cody Rhodes on Saturday in the big WWE Championship match.
Holy shit. Breaking. Put it on the ticker.
He's going to steal him off you, Cole. He's going to beat you.
He's going to bully you. And so he's going to bully you over there. Okay.
Also, major news, Pat.
Okay.
Winner of the King and Queen of the Ring will get a championship opportunity at SummerSlam in Cleveland.
Wow.
Yep.
Summerfest? Jeremy Piven called it Summerfest, obviously, back in the day. We're talking about SummerSlam, which is in Cleveland. So the King and Queen of the Ring is all of a sudden a Money in the Bank type title where you get an opportunity to go on and let's go. That's good news. I like that. Good luck out there.
By the way, the man you beat at SummerSlam is actually here in Riyadh with me, a bum-ass Corbin.
He's no longer bum-ass Corbin, though. I saw him bowl the other night.
Yeah.
He's in his best. No, he's
big bowling Corbin.
Bowl-ass Corbin.
But he was
bowling
very
ass.
excited, though.
There it is.
Because you gave him 3 minutes of your time on Raw Monday night.
That's right. That's good. Hey, that's good work. That's good work for him. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia, can we please? Enough of your bullshit. Not that the breaking news was.
And I'm having trouble hearing you. That's why I'm talking over you. I apologize. But can we do a little plug for my merch? Can you get a close-up on the Michael Cole T-shirt that's at the Toxic table? There we go. My guy Connor taking care of me. That's available at WWEshop.com right now. The voice of WWE Michael Cole T-shirt available now. Jimmy Kelly is actually wearing it as we speak.
Okay, I love to hear that. I'm sure the sales are booming over there in Saudi Arabia. The thing about that shirt that's a little bit different than now, Flavor Saver on that Michael Cole. That's our Michael Cole.
Amen.
That is our Michael Cole right there with the Flavor Saver right underneath the lip. This new Michael Cole, people are saying, maybe not.
Not the same.
Hey, listen, everybody misses you here, Pat. Seriously, they wish you were part of Saudi Arabia. They wish you were here in Riyadh. We're going to miss you on Saturday, but we'll see you on Monday night in Savannah.
All right, buddy. Hey, I appreciate the hell out of you, Michael Cole. Be safe out there. Have fun.
Love you guys. See you later.
See you, Michael Cole.
That boy Cole.
It's a short flight back to Savannah.
He couldn't hear a word we were saying.
Not a word.
Not one word he heard. He's deaf, plus on top of it.
Oh, I forgot he was deaf.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah. So every once in a while, he'll put those the full-time AirPods in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Hearing aids.
The hearing aids. Yeah, there they are. And
I got you.
That thing.
I got you. They are full-time AirPods.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
they're wonderful. He Bluetooth to his phone on those.
Yep.
Yeah, game changer.
So
Chopper has that. My father-in-law Chopper does the same thing. Yeah, he's sitting there talking on the phone. You're like, who are you talking to, Chop? And you realize his sweet, whatever hearing aids are full-time Bluetooth, full-time AirPods.
And that's the most noise canceling of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like the most, I think it's even rattling on like a bone in his head. That's how the sound is getting through it. So you can't hear shit. So he'll watch like a video or something on his phone, and I won't know that he's watching a video. So I'll walk up right to him. And I'm like, Cole, how we doing, baby? I just got there or whatever. And not a single movement. And then he looks up. He goes, when did you get here? Showed up to work today. It's like, all right, that's 35 seconds ago. You couldn't hear anything. Like, I had it plugged. Yeah, I know. But he's obviously I'm happy he has merch. This is the first time.
Yeah, pumped. It's great merch, too. There's another one that doesn't have him on it, which isn't as good, but it does say in his entrance logo, Michael Cole, voice of WWE as well.
Nobody really gets to see it. He gets introed, every night at every arena before we go on air. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of respect and love for Michael
People
Cole.
love that guy. What do you mean? I mean, how could you not? I know he played
wasn't like
that. Michael Cole is the WWE.
Bingo. But it wasn't like that for a long time. He was the guy that had to follow JR, obviously, who's beloved by every wrestling fan still in this point. But and also he was a heel character, and also he was the one who had to carry literally every single storyline. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta
shoot.
This is what it is.
Right.
So he had to do that. So there's a lot of people that held up a lot of angst and hate towards him, and all he's done is just been there for 27 years, has only missed 3 shows, and he's finally, I think, doing in his eyes what he would do or how he would call it if he was to be able to have the autonomy to do so. And it's an honor to be out there next to him. He is an asshole, though.
Oh, yeah. Such a douche.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know about a douche.
Does he get a lay-down seat, I hope, on the flight back? He's going straight to Savannah, I hope.
Yeah, they do. I think it's all business. I think they get a full plane that is all business class.
Nice.
I think.
There we go. I mean, that's a quick turnaround.
So it was so quick a couple years back that they couldn't make the Buffalo. That was actually my first time getting to commentate SmackDown. That was during the football season. I get a text at 1:30 maybe in the afternoon, middle of the show, from Mr. H, Paul Levesque, and he goes, "Can you be in Buffalo tonight?" ? And I was like, "Yes." Didn't even know, but just said,
Getting a title shot?
"Can absolutely be in Buffalo tonight." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, we're doing an NXT Friday Night SmackDown. Do you want to commentate?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'll see you. But show obviously starts at 8. Just need you there before the show starts or whatever." And it's like, okay, cool. So then you start texting everybody, every business you've ever worked with that maybe you've got a plane from. And none of them were able to turn around in a 3-hour period. You need a plane in Indianapolis that is staffed, piloted, cleaned, maintenance checked, fueled, and get there. Sorry, we can't do that. Jim Irsay let me use his fucking plane. So then I fly on Jim Irsay. I eat a steak on my way over there.
On the plane.
Good living.
On the plane.
I remember when all that happened. How was that? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, 2020, I want to say.
2019.
The year before, yeah.
Yeah. So, everybody says I'm brand new to wrestling. I've been around WWE.
You had a match. Was that OVW? You had that match when you were before the combine, I believe?
No, that was, fuck.
It was awesome. Either way, the video
I was in
great.
West Virginia. Oh, they're not going to be happy that I forgot this name of the promotion. They're still going.
We talking War Pig here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the promotion? East Coast. IWA East Coast. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, the IWA EC.
That sounds familiar.
There's a lot of promotions, bro. A lot of
I
promotions.
know. It's crazy. I am new to wrestling, so learning all of them. That one that you just listed from Louisville.
OVW.
OVW, yeah.
Never heard of that in my entire life until
I went to
today.
shows when I was playing with. I've been down to numerous shows down there. Rip Rogers trained down there.
Yeah, yeah.
So IWA East Coast. Yeah, okay. Just like I thought.
Just like I fucking said it would.
Okay, that was the name of it. But yeah, that was when I wrestled War Pig. And Thomas Morstead, punter for the Jets. He's phenomenal. He's a jugs machine. He is a punter. That is, his legs come up to here on me. He's the guy who had the onside kick for the Saints at halftime, the ambush. He's the one who taught me how to punt. He told a story on a podcast, For the Athlete, I think is the name of the group that had the podcast or whatever. And he said, yeah, so me and Pat, first time I meet him, he tells me he's going to try to parlay an NFL career into being a WWE wrestler or superstar. And I go, okay, buddy. And then it all kind of works out. It's like, when I say that to people, every single era of my life, conversations revolve around yeah, I'm supposed
You were
to be a fucking wrestler.
5 years old, I feel like. I've seen the clips you guys put together when you were a tiny kid. That's what you were doing.
Well, I thought that's what I was supposed to do my whole life. I'm supposed
Superhuman, like a mentor?
Super Hummin.
Yeah.
I believe is who you're
Super
talking
Hummin.
about. He still has his fastball.
Does he? He's still doing it?
In our trampoline wrestling promotion that we had on my particular street, I think Super Hummin would have been a star. Yeah, he would have done very well. He would have done very well. And I think any trampoline wrestling, he would have done good. But yeah, he was, I guess, inspiration. Yeah, I guess. More so like Sandman and them back then. Sure. But yeah. Yeah, there's War Pig, IWA East Coast.
Rest in peace.
There's me in Overton. Then there's me training with Rip Rogers. Then debut at NXT. Then go ahead and work some panels. Then have a match with Adam Cole because he's a piece of shit. Then I'll see you at WrestleMania, cuz. And then
SummerSlam.
Yeah, and then SummerSlam with the bum-ass Corbin. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It is awesome. They're the best.
Started your own promotion.
Yep.
OCW. Office Championship Wrestling. Season 2 coming at some point.
Yep,
Never forget.
We already have those writ. We have those wrote. We have the scripts for Office Championship Wrestling Season 2. And I'll tell you what, somehow better than Season 1.
Well, isn't that where Jesus Christ saved everybody?
Well,
First
yep.
one?
Jesus Christ came out and saved Dylan Ballstick from
the human race. I heard,
Easter
pretty
Bunny
much.
turned heel.
The devil and the Easter Bunny.
Oh.
Yeah, remember because the Easter Bunny.
All in one.
Well, and then all of our souls in the office, yeah. And thank God Jesus came out there. Jesus almost got knocked off the ring, too, at one point.
Very close.
almost died.
Right into the coffin, damn near.
Yeah, it was a coffin match, and it was almost Jesus in a coffin, which we knew was never going to happen.
No, of course not.
No chance.
Even though it was pretty close.
It was very close. Some would say by about 2 fingers.
Jesus had great flow.
Yeah. Great beard on Jesus back then.
Yeah, it was great times. That was one of the most fun things we've ever done.
Oh, my God.
We stayed in the office while it was kind of getting pieced together and just laughed at every single part of it. Every single part of it.
When did you film that? Because I don't think I was around at all when you filmed it.
That was pre-COVID.
That was like 2018, probably.
yeah.
Okay.
We brought fans. We had, 35, 50 fans?
Oh, yeah.
Crowd.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I guess not 30, 20 it looks like.
2019, it looks like.
So are some people just random people, or do you know?
Yeah, there's a random people. Yeah, the guy. A lot of the diehards from back in the day. There's the devil.
Was that Tone? Is that Tone's Halloween
No,
costume?
that was the devil for shoot. That was the devil. There's Dylan Bostic. He was wrestling on our behalf, and good old Ty Schmidt had quite a line. Look at Nick with that short ass hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nick got us into a situation with the devil.
Yeah, never good.
And basically turned into fighting for our souls.
Yeah.
And it all came together pretty
Look at
nice.
the setup is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, we did it. We fucking did
It was
it.
awesome.
I mean, this gets all the shine, but the Mama's dinner table match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
what
that was the one.
One of the greatest.
What was that,
wrestlers.
Mother's Day?
Yeah, it was Mother's Day. Yep.
This was Easter. Then we had a Mother's Day, because the holidays are back to back to back.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Test Tube, baby.
Not to mention Bill
Baby
Ding.
was an asshole.
Yeah, Bill Ding.
Bill
the wall.
Ding, the wall.
William Ding, yeah, William Ding. Bill Ding, the wall, yeah, of course. At that time, big conversation.
Yeah, certainly.
Big time.
He fucking lost.
He did.
Yes, he did.
I need to go back and watch those. It's been a while.
That's our champ. That's what our champ
Been a
does.
while. That's maybe the hardest I've ever laughed in my life, watching it after we were done.
Ty and I could not hear a word each other were saying.
Just screaming in each other's faces for like 4 hours.
3 episodes, 4 hours, no voice. We got a wrestling promotion. And at that time, there was a lot of people starting them and trying to make money off it. Like, I had real thoughts as I laid down, like, should we fucking make it?
Do this every weekend?
Make a run?
Can we? Jeffrey Gorman had an interview in the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Gorman was electrifying.
He was.
Yeah.
Gorman was absolutely electrifying.
Bill.
Yeah, let's turn it on.
It should be any minute now that the test tube baby comes for a quick pre-wrestling match interview. Sorry to bombard you, Mr. Test Tube, if you could... Are we bothering you?
What?
Are you bothering me? Gordon, do you have a father?
Gordon.
I do.
Do you have a mother? What's their name, Gordon?
It's personal.
What do you mean it's very personal?
All right, jeez.
My parents. It's...
What do you mean it's very personal?
Oh, Dodie and Larry. What's with the eyes?
I want you to look into these eyes.
Why are you touching me right now?
Okay, all right.
Wash your hands.
You need to watch that. He just came out of the bathroom. Gorman's not going to be happy about that.
No, he wasn't.
That guy always had the hands clean.
He doesn't like getting personal.
No, but Test Tube Baby was just drinking water. He wasn't pooping or peeing.
Yeah, Test Tube Baby was drinking out of the toilet there potentially. So Test Tube Baby had no mom.
Yeah.
So obviously he just came from a lab.
Yeah. No dad.
So he was fighting. He was a bit of an asshole too. You think maybe babyface with coming from a lab? That was not the case at all. He had no respect for anybody, and he fought against our office championship champion Dylan Bostic for not only the title, but Dylan Bostic's mom would then be Test Tube Baby's mom officially for Mother's Day.
Correct. Yeah. Well, it worked out for Test Tube Baby too because he turned out to be J.D. McDonough.
Like,
watch it.
What?
I mean, he was a fucking
where it gotta start.
technician in the ring.
There's the mom, though. There's Dylan Bostic's mom. That was, yeah. So, anyways, we've been into the wrestling game for a long time.
Jeez.
I saw some people that, whenever we put out that video that Talk put together, excellently, great job about the year about our show going to change. I saw some people comment, yeah, half the time you're talking wrestling and WNBA, you say it's not going to change. It's like, buddy, we've been talking wrestling a long time.
Forever.
Yeah. We are probably the dumbest wrestling show in history. We could actually potentially classify. We could rip shit and release podcasts as a wrestling show. We just respect the art, baby.
Amen.
Just respect the art.
That's right.
Truly.
Michael Cole, though, makes it difficult, too, sometimes with the way he fucking acts.
Yeah.
He didn't put over the king and queen of the ring at all.
Not at all.
What's this guy supposed? He's supposed to be able to cut promos. Does anybody know what time that's on from listening to that interview?
Nope.
Wow. Work on it, Cole. And tell that Jim Kelly, pipe down over there.
Yeah, me better because if he doesn't soon,
it's over.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I was going to shoot one of these basketballs, but today's not today.
What?
All right.
I missed 8 yesterday.
I'll
So
shoot
you're
one.
due. What do you mean? Next one's going in.
Yeah, shoot or shoot.
Did you hear what
Shoot
Dak
or shoot,
Prescott?
bro.
I just saw his name on the paper.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Dak Prescott said?
Is he playing for free?
Please run the Dak Prescott video from OTAs where he was obviously asked about his contract situation, which is certainly looming down there once again.
about business?
Business is business. I'll leave it where it gets handled. Right now, it's about being my best for this team right now in this moment. OTA is helping these guys out, and just focused on that. And I know my business will take care of itself. And so, been in it before, experienced, and just controlling what I can right now.
Why have you been able to be so patient when it comes to the business?
I don't play for money. Never have, never cared for it, to be honest with you.
Play for championships.
Yeah, would give it up just to play this game. So
Don't say
so I allow that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play, a person of my play, leader of my play, I guess you can say. And for me, it's about, as I said, control. I can control and handle that part, and the rest will take care of itself.
I think it was a great answer for the situation. The situation. Now, saying he'd give it all up just to play the game.
Never cared for it.
Yeah, it's part of the game, I guess. It's not really my thing. I appreciate that. I respect the hell out of that.
Sure.
You know, sometimes when you're not looking for something, you find it. When you're looking for something, you can't. Like, he wasn't looking for money, he found it. Championship's on the way, though. Haven't been found it just yet. And that's why that's a beautiful answer out of Dak Prescott, AJ Hawk.
Control the controllables, right? That's a coach's tagline a lot of times.
Absolutely. And be who you can afford to be. How much is he able to afford being?
The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
You don't want to give any back. I mean, it's one thing to give back. It's one thing to say, hey, I'm not going to make any more in the future, but to give back what you already have, that's a different story.
Yeah, it's like when the IRS comes and says, hey, you owe $3 million. It's like, that sucks because that's gone already.
Yeah.
Where's that supposed to come from? Yeah. Well, the money that you didn't pay for.
Well, I don't have it.
Yeah, we still need it. That sucks.
It's bad news. Well, if they came to Dak's house, he'd say $3 million. I'll give you 10.
He would
just play a game. Oh, he seems hungry, doesn't he?
He does.
And you know, the offseason, they didn't do shit, right? Everybody thought they were going to do a bunch of stuff.
Correct.
Sure.
And then they didn't do anything, and that's because Jerry Jones says, "I like this team."
Yeah, and then he could have done something with the team and paid everybody, but yeah, they decided not to do anything.
Got Micah still, CD still, Dak.
What's Dak's situation like though? Where is he at in his contract?
I don't know. A few years back, he got a $100 million contract after breaking his leg. Remember?
Yeah, after the franchise tag. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was nasty, and that was talked about for like a year and a half. The longer they wait, the higher it's going to go. The longer they wait, the higher it's going to go. And Jerry's like, we'll see. What's going on over there? We'll see.
Free agent after this year, I believe.
Yeah, and he has a no franchise tag clause, so they have to have a deal.
Last year of his contract. So if he was to hit the free agency market, you would certainly see a team.
Oh yeah.
We assume pay a lot of money for him. Just because Dallas. Maybe unless they win this year. I mean, and if he wins this year, then it's the Joe Flacco situation where Joe Flacco went into his final year of his contract with the Baltimore Ravens, and he wins the fucking Super Bowl. And then he's worth $110 million all of a sudden. And he can play football forever because he's already made it, already won a Super Bowl. Legacy's good. And now he's on the Colts. And Anthony Richardson actually said, I remember I was on a school bus, I think, whenever he was winning the Super Bowl. So maybe that is what happens, or maybe they get a deal done like I think everybody in Dallas has alluded to. AJ Hawk. But how big is it?
Yeah, how big? Obviously, Dax deserves and he wants a monster deal. But what if the Cowboys aren't 100% sold on him being there in the future and giving him that kind of deal? What can they do?
What if they say Tom Brady took $25 million a year?
Yeah.
Are you saying?
They'll say good for Tom Brady.
Yeah, definitely. That's what Dak's business people will say. But if they're not able to get a deal done, and then Jerry and what's the other one? Steven comes out and says, we offered him $40 million a year, 4 years, $120 million guaranteed. Like, we tried, and he wanted, because with where the quarterback market is going and where it is right now for people getting paid, I mean, Jared Goff just just won. He hasn't won with the Detroit Lions, but he is certainly a guy that they all think they can win with. And that's what this check is. Like, do you guys think you can win with Dak Prescott? And that's kind of the contract question that's happening. And he's got a lot to prove this year, but if he fucking goes and wins and then he becomes a free agent, boy, with the way these quarterback deals are right now, he is going to be mega wealthy. He's got to feel great about where he is.
Yeah, especially with how old he is. Like Kirk Cousins just got $100 million guaranteed, and Kirk Cousins is what, 34,
I didn't
35?
even think about Kirk Cousins.
Like that deal is probably the one you look to. Like, hey man, Absolutely, sure. They go win the Super Bowl. That's one thing. They go to the conference championship or even the divisional round. It's like, hey, Kirk Cousins got $100 million after tearing his Achilles. I understand that maybe you don't have the utmost confidence in me to win a Super Bowl, but my price should be there. He's 31?
31.
Dak? Yeah.
Well,
Kirk
he's
is
going to be 31 by the time the season's.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Happy birthday.
July 29th.
It's coming up. It's coming up. I like the way you answered that. I like the way you handled it. Now, it's going to get held
Zeke
against.
back. Got Zeke back on the squad.
Yeah, at $3 million a year or whatever. For a year, that's going to get held
Big
against
Mike.
Dak though.
What is that? Zeke's coming back?
No, that statement he just made. If they don't get a deal done, and then the Cowboys leak, which they would never do.
No.
Leak what they
would.
offered him.
Rap sheet.
Yeah, would never do that. But leak what they offered him, and then say, well, this guy said he wants to do this. Then I guess the agent just says, well, I'm the one doing this entire thing. Is it Mulugeta? Who reps him?
I don't think it's.
I thought it was
Mulugeta.
Tad. Tad Prescott, his brother.
He reps him publicly.
Todd France.
Todd France.
Also
Frenchman.
Also, Todd does a lot of business.
No, he didn't do a $230 million guaranteed deal.
No, only one guy's done that one.
Did he revive the safety market?
He did Jared Goff's deal.
Ooh, okay. Respect.
Okay, France.
Okay, yeah. He's Dallas
Wait, hold
Cowboys
on.
quarterback's
Hold on.
agent. We should
Sorry.
assume.
They were just referencing Jared Goff's deal in this in this article.
So he did not do Goff's
I
deal.
don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, back on the hot seat, France.
All right. All right. Well, back on the, well, what have you done?
He's Aaron Donald, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes.
Russell Wilson had a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes' deal was great whenever it was done.
The last deal Dak had with the Cowboys was 2021, and he got 4 years, $160 million, 126 guaranteed, averaged 42 a year. At the time, it was second, just behind Mahomes.
And that was after an injury, right?
Yes.
So they want more than that, right?
Or does he want the same deal? What if they just say same deal, samesies?
Yeah. What if he's like, all right, here we go, let's do it. Maybe.
I'll take him to.
So France does good business. Congrats, Todd.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Todd. We always knew. We had faith, Todd.
Dallas Cowboys quarterback's agent. Yeah, probably good business.
Yeah, we had faith in you.
Now the market says what it is, so you don't really have to, you're already going into a 55 million.
That's market.
You see, that's the thing though. Is Dak not going to take the next big one? Is he just going to choose to?
I mean,
Bet on himself, right?
Don't
He'd
think
have to be betting on himself.
I mean, if he wants to keep throwing to CD,
and have Micah on the other side of the ball,
and maybe an offensive line he can build up.
Yeah.
Like this,
Tyler
I
Smith.
thought this was potentially going to happen with Andrew Luck, because Andrew Luck seemingly, had his dad obviously his family very successful. He had another career that was waiting for him, that he would be at the top of the line if he wanted to, and it was like when his contract was up, I was like, maybe Andrew's the guy that's like, you guys give me $30 million a year, like I'm playing football.
to make that work.
I'm playing football for $30 million a year, or like $25 million a year, whatever it was at the time. I thought there was a chance. And then so many people just educated me so quickly on how impossible that would be for Andrew Luck to actually do with all the other I don't want to say bullshit, but bullshit going on. With the NFLPA, the amount of people that are pushing, other quarterbacks that are like also waiting.
His own agent too.
His own agent, other agent. Like, it's just like everybody is literally telling you, like, oh, you want to fuck over everybody else. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I guess. If you don't want to make player salaries better going forward, okay, that's sure. Yeah, sign whatever you want to do, And it's like it's just a fascinating tale about what decision you want to make. Could he be the guy because he hasn't won a Super Bowl, wants to win a Super Bowl, clearly, says he play for free.
Yep.
And then, think to himself, well, whenever you take up a percentage of a salary cap, it's been kind of proven that you don't win a Super Bowl at one position. Maybe we try to build it up. I don't know. I have no idea if that's the case or if Dak gets paid again. Either way, good on him. I'm pumped for him.
And to your point there, that kind of goes to Todd France being a good agent, because he set up Mahomes with that 10-year deal where he's still getting that massive paycheck and still resetting the market, but also they weren't strapped for cash. I mean, have they been? I guess the Tyreek Hill deal, but for that long, for 4 years, that cap hit wasn't massive whatsoever, and they obviously won a bunch of Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, and now everybody just compares Patrick Mahomes' average per year versus everybody else's, and it's like, do they all have like $500 million coming?
You're right though. If Dak believes the words that he speaks, he should play for $10 million a year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now everybody, so whatever, if they don't get a deal
$5
done.
million a year. Veteran men. He should play for Russell Wilson when he's playing for the Steelers.
What is Russ playing for?
Like 1.3 or something.
Legit.
And that's a massive piece of why you guys love him so much.
No, not anymore. Originally.
But once
now,
you saw the way he operated.
Yeah, now he's integrated himself so perfectly.
And the Pirates relevant again, right?
Yeah.
Who was at their
Scenes is pitching there.
Who was at their training thing? Camp.
Russell Wilson, I believe.
There it is. Russell Wilson was there.
Start
Did he start at shortstop?
If he wanted to.
Yeah, he's starting pitcher. He threw the first one. Had a glove.
McCutcheon asked him actually for some batting tips.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did that turn it all around?
Good outing out of Skeens today.
Okay, what do you do? Skeens is pitching late. Game started 12:35.
6 innings, 1 earned run, only 3 strikeouts. That's okay. Lowered his ERA, and the Buccos are up 5-2 heading in the bottom of the 7th. So
against
the San Francisco Giants.
And they stink.
2
They're middle of
games
the
under
road.
500. They're about the same as the Pirates.
Everybody Skeens.
Skeens in line for a W.
Everybody Skeens. How many strikeouts? 3?
Yeah, just 3.
300 more bucks to the
Gary Sinise Foundation.
Bingo.
Gump said the Giants don't strike out, I guess. That's kind of their thing. So it's not unnormal.
They're always going to get some wood.
Okay.
Yes.
Good eyes on the Giants. Good to know.
Yeah, they're going to get some wood. They might not put it in play, but they're going to get some wood.
Bats on balls.
That's Giants football, baby.
Amen.
That's right.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. AJ, great work today, pal. Sorry we had so many pre-record. We had a good time with him, though.
I'm not joking. The Shota interview, I had a great time sitting here and watching that thing. Yeah, him and Edwin. Congrats to Edwin too. He's a good interpreter.
Seriously.
Yeah, and shout out to Zeke having the connection, obviously, with the Cubs in Chicago and making that whole thing happen. When it was presented, would you like to talk to Shota Imanaga? He speaks Japanese. Immediate. Oh, this would be fun. Let's try to figure this out. Let's definitely try to figure this out. And then, I guess they've done other interviews together, and everybody pre-records, and then they just kind of chop out the interpreter, and then they just have Shota on, and then they'll have the captions of what he's saying, and then just kind of move on. That's kind of like how it's been, and it's like no. That's
bring him in.
That's not the truth.
That's the
They're
one.
a team. They're a team. They seem to operate well together.
Well, they're going to have to. Once again, we don't know everything at this point, but we're thinking Edwin's good representative of interpreting.
100%.
Shota should keep an eye on his bank account.
Yeah.
Always.
He's not making nearly as much as Shohei is, but
Yet. 30 years old, first year in the MLB?
Correct.
What's realistic here, you think?
It depends if he wins a Cy Young this year. He signed a 4-year deal with the Cubs, I think, for like $53 million, which isn't crazy, but also with a guy like, you don't really know what you're getting with him. But if he is like their ace for the next 2 years or whatever, like he could, it's probably not going to be crazy because he'll be 34 when this contract's up, but he could definitely still sign like another $125 million contract, something like that.
I bet Shota.
Hell yeah, Shota.
Oh. Ko-U-san? Oh.
It was, Ko-Uno.
Ko-Uno. The king.
Good luck.
Good luck.
It's a tough language to learn, I feel like.
Sounds nothing like ours, bro.
Try writing it.
Sounds nothing like ours. Yeah, I guess, and looking at it, nothing like ours. So when you get dropped into their country, and if you actually go into, like, boy, it is.
You didn't pick any of it up?
Context clues are tough.
Ohio, that's why I said Ohio at the beginning of that thing, because I had this sweet Japanese lady who seemingly was older. She might have been 150 years old, but
sure.
I have no idea. Sitting next to me on the train, no talking on train. Okay, we're not fucking.
Nobody's talking?
No, he's sitting down and we are not talking. And you're on time too. These fucking things, you've seen the videos of all the sounds, and then it shuts. It does shut, but you're also in seat, or we are not talking in this thing. I need, how many times am I going to be here? I need to know. So you start using phone, keyboard, translate in the Japanese. So then I'm showing her, and then she's responding, and it's coming back. So then I'm learning a little bit like Ohio, and then there's something like that one of the local people that were working with the USO to help us, like, do not touch my mustache, like something in that
That's what it sounded like.
That's what it sounds like. It's a pretty vital thing. And then they also gave me something that makes me an asshole, too. Like, somebody told me to say something, and then I walk right into a place, and I say it, and it was not something you should say.
That's just classic. It's classic banter. When you're
Classic.
Going,
So much shit talk.
Yeah.
Came back to the bus, and they were like,
Got you, bitch. Say it. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I did. I did say it. I did. Kuso.
Yep.
Kuso. That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
That's fuck you in Japanese.
Yes, it is.
Really?
That's what we learned afterwards.
Oh, how long afterwards?
So we kept them all line a little bit longer. I wanted to learn some more stuff. I wanted to learn some more stuff. Didn't want. It was the interpreter saying, obviously not him. Edwin was
cameras everywhere.
Ed was just dropping it out of nowhere. That guy. Jeez. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Good Feel Good Friday coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Huge.
There is somebody coming on tomorrow that's a big deal. I forget who it is. Just happened today. It's big. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow should be a lot of fun. And then obviously 3-day weekend. Then we're back on Tuesday for some magic.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lots to overreact to after the 3-day weekend with the Western Conference Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals for both the NBA, the NHL continuing. Then obviously the race day that is Sunday for the Monaco F1 race that's in the morning. Go ahead and watch it. It's their Super Bowl. Then you got obviously the Indy 500 in the afternoon. Available on Peacock, I've been told, especially if you have a maybe out-of-city VIN or whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so I might have to hack and find one of those. And then NASCAR on Sunday night, let alone everything else. So Tuesday's show should be absurd. We'll be off Monday celebrating, Memorial Day alongside everybody else, saying thank you to everything that has happened and the people that have done it for us. And then tomorrow's Feel Good Friday should be electrifying. So we're lucky to do this. We're thankful to do this. You're the greatest people on earth for allowing us to do this. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Just like available at Costco.com.
Ooh, nice.
And select Costco's. I think in Alaska.
Okay.
I think there's maybe a couple others, but yeah, Dude Wipes available at Costco.com. You can get the box. I believe that box is available.
Just Alaska? Only Alaska?
I don't know. They sent it in the email I was on.
It seems kind of
They said
remote.
in select Costco's and then like Alaska and then like nothing else was said. I'm like, I assume they're in other Costco's as well, but definitely in Costco's in Alaska.
Yeah, they need it.
From the email I read.
Good
but also
to know.
available on Costco.com. Shout out to Dude Wipes. They're also the sponsor of the Concaifa SC team that will be battling in 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, down in Cary, North Carolina, about 140-degree weather. Should be good. Ripped the net yesterday.
I saw that. I mean, I tell you what, your game's really rounded into form at the right time.
The ball was starting to go like where I would like it to go, which is good. That's good news. Running's going to be interesting, Running's going to be interesting.
First shot of the day. People aren't talking about that.
Yeah, I felt good coming out of the gates yesterday. And the ball's been going where I want it to go, which is the most important part. Like, that was the thing I was worried about most. Let alone, like, making solid ball contact, but, like, putting it where you want it to go is that's the game.
The goal.
That is the game. So, early in the training for, Concaifa SC down at TSD, I mean, I was a little bit worried about, are we ever going to be able to keep this thing?
But even though, like, think about it, you want to make an impact. So even if you sail that thing 10 feet over the net, like, they're going to hear it. They're going to feel it humming by their head.
I mean, there's going to be those. If I'm pulling the trigger, there's going to
set the tone. You want to set the tone early, whether it goes in or not.
I don't know if it'll set the tone that I'm looking for if I airmail one out of the fucking complex.
Okay.
Which
If it's
is
230
possible.
miles an hour, though. 230 it will.
Ball is moving. I'm excited to see like how goalies respond to it because obviously I haven't shot against a goalie in a long time, so I have no idea. But like I think it's moving.
Is it all real goalies? I mean, the teams are all real soccer players, but.
The Reggae Rovers we're playing against, I think I've already said this, some old members of the Jamaican national team.
Oh, yeah.
So that's our first game out the gates. That one.
That'd be good.
And then we got Cincinnati, and then we got Burnley. We're eagerly awaiting those matches for sure. That first one, we have no idea what's coming. We have no idea, but we've heard pretty good squad. But Coach Gumpy's back there feeling good.
Yeah, Coach.
Coach, we've been getting a workout there about on a cow pasture seemingly outside.
Yeah, we're dialed in. You get on a pitch that is a little flat, nice pitch. Those balls will be going top shelf every time, brother.
And I see some people saying still like, well, the 7-on-7 nets are smaller than that. It's like, well, I'm hitting where I'm aiming right now. So what I'm assuming is if I aim a little bit lower, hopefully it'll be able to go there.
Yeah.
And the balls that they're using, pretty good balls for shaping. Pretty good moving balls. We're going this way with it too this time. We're going to try to
They're
figure
kind of flat? What does that mean? They're kind of
light. They're kind of lighter balls. Not flat. Don't want flat balls.
How much can you curve it? How much can you bend that thing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Depends on the amount of time that you have or space that you have. You know, like when you're throwing a football trying to turn it over, it's not necessarily easy, like at 7 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. But you double that thing to like 15, obviously that thing's turning a little bit. 20, it's a little bit. So it's just like that with one of those. Like there's incredibly talented guys that can, strike balls that can make them move a lot more than others. A lot of it revolves around leg strength, so you can kind of go with it. But like bend it like Beckham, obviously that's a movie I'm not sure was critically scored high or whatever. Maybe it was. But like he could move a ball because of how strong his leg was. Like Beckham could really do it.
So that was legit though. It was real. He could actually really do it.
Yeah, he had a strong leg. He was the first guy I saw hit a ball real strong that I found out that it was possible to hit a ball like 90 miles an hour. Like that was I wanted to kick the ball harder than everybody else. That was literally my mindset. That was my goal. Yeah. So that's why I sat next to my house and just ripped the ball off the side of my house all day, every day, whenever I wasn't doing any other fuckery. Like that's literally what I did to pass time when my brother was playing a video game or they were watching a movie and I didn't have the fucking stamina to sit in there and do nothing and do it. So I would just kick a soccer. I wanted to have the strongest, like that's what I wanted to have. So then Beckham in the World Cup, I think he hit a PK. It was like 92 miles an hour or so. It was the first time I saw miles per hours on games and like his. And if you go to soccer tournaments, they would always have like a gun and he would compete against everybody else at every other tournament and then your name would be on the board. It was like wanted to win those. Like that was goal. Like, hey, Sideshow here at this tournament would also like to be at the top of this fucking radar gun thing. So, it was nice to see the ball move a little bit again because I haven't kicked a ball in fucking soccer ball in a long, long, long time. Football, long, long time. So it was nice to see it move. It was nice to see the ball move again. Now, am I going to be too exhausted to ever make solid contact with the ball? Potentially.
Gonna find out.
Which is certainly
tap your head.
That's why we got subs on the fly. We got subs on the fly.
I've been running with the ball, though, dribbling with the ball. That's come much more naturally than I thought it was going to.
That's hard to do.
Yes.
That's tough.
Especially on our field out here. It kind of sucks. Trapping the ball, a little touch, like when a ball gets played to you. Because our team in roster will debut next week. I'll debut the roster next week.
Okay.
Our team has a lot of talent, so the ball's going to be pinging around, like moving, boom, boom, boom. So if you have a bad touch, you fuck up everything. So it's like touch is a big deal as well. I'm nowhere near where everybody else on our team is going to be, but I won't be a complete fuck up, I think. Now, once I get exhausted, there's certainly a different conversation happening. But I think I got a good 2 to 3 minutes each game where I'll be able to fucking do some real
That's plenty of time. Plenty of time for you to have a huge impact. And can Gumpy check himself in ever? Can he play?
No, he's registered as a coach.
Yeah, I'm just coach, brother.
Gumpy's right thigh, too, almost.
Oh, buddy, my right quad is tight. I was only left foot yesterday, but it's nice to use both feet sometimes.
Yeah, Gumpy's been handling it great. But, yeah, the day we were working on touch, it was like, all right, Gumpy, I need you to hit me some balls here. Like, I need you to be hitting me some balls. And he was just righty sending him in or whatever. And it's like, we did probably 30 to 40 of these types of balls. And then on the ground, we're hitting some as well. And I didn't even think about Gumpy's leg being worn out.
Yeah.
But if I was on his side doing this, certainly there's a chance that he'd get worn out. Gumpy, I appreciate your sacrifice.
Yeah, it's awesome to be out there, man.
It is.
I literally loved playing soccer my whole life, and it is just, it's cool to nick the ball around.
It does feel like I'm a little kid again.
Legit, dude. Like I'll stand out there and juggle by myself for like 20 minutes.
Even like the process of I'm tying up my cleats again, and then like first touch on the ball on the day, and then like hitting one over to Gumpy. It's like, oh, this does feel like I'm right back in high school again for whatever team I'm playing. But then I have to remind myself, like, body is not.
Sure.
Let's remember.
Not actually.
Let's remember that brain, it might be nostalgic here, but the body don't give a fuck. It is in 2024. So we're trying to manage it all, but I think we're getting to a spot where we'll be useful, a little bit useful.
Just play hacky sack to get warmed up. I'll bring mine down. I have a couple in my bag.
The wrestlers enjoy hacky sack.
I love hacky sack. When I was in like middle school, 5th grade, middle school, man, we'd hacky sack all the time at recess after we got done playing football.
Were you inside of the foot? You did inside of the foot?
I was all over, I'm headbutting it. I'm using my knees. I'm doing everything.
Yeah, obviously the knees were the That was home base
Yep.
for it. But the people that do this, you're like, oh, you don't play soccer. You just tell that they don't play soccer. They're full time.
That's what I used to do.
I don't do it. No, I don't know that. I don't do that unless I have to. Whatever I have to do.
You come across a motherfucker doing this with the hacky sack, they're good. Like they're gonna fucking bomb that.
That feels like that would shear the little cartilage I have left off my knee if I even do that movement.
Yep, impossible for me as well. I did top of the foot and then obviously stall that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You throw it up again. You headbutt it like you're AJ Hawk. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. It's been a fun day. Use Dude Wipes, fresh cheeks.
Hell yeah.
A bath
for your ass.
Dude Wipes. Available at Costco.com. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Okay? Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Dom Arigato. Goodbye.